And welcome to Only in Early Access. It's here. We're here again. We're here breaking down your door, forcing you, gun to your head. You have to play Parasite Eve in French, or you have to stand there and beg Capcom for Deep Down in French. Which do you choose?
Ranch. That's
Yeah, hi. It's only an
interesting.
early. It's only an early access podcast that comes out once a month. Thank God, for both the audiences and the people on the show. Thank God. Like,
Thank fuck. Like, holy
fucking
shit.
God, if I had to talk to this guy like more than once a month.
We kill each other. We just murder each other on
Oh,
the streets.
oh my god. Well, I mean, I feel like it's really easier for you because, like, if I show up in Texas, I'd probably just get murdered on the streets for being trans and gay. So, like,
I mean, yeah.
I don't feel like that's fair. I feel like you gotta use your own turf advantage. You can show up to my streets and very
Yeah.
likely not get murdered. Like, the odds are not in my favor.
That
Homies
sounds
like,
like a you
listen,
problem. That sounds like a you problem, you know? That
that
sounds like a
sounds like
you
a you
problem.
live in Texas problem. It's definitely a problem that you live in Texas. Let's be fucking clear here. Stupid introduction bit aside, Texas is awful. You're like the Florida, the middle of the states, man. You're just the bigger Florida in the center. You're nothing special over there.
Uh-huh. Sure,
And
sure.
you can argue, oh, they got good food. Yeah, so does Florida. That doesn't erase the racism and sexism and murder and all that weird shit.
I
You know?
say it's funny comparing with Florida because Florida being kind of like similar to Texas, so it's just like I don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're exactly the same. One's just on this side and the other's in the center. In terms of like what types of people, what demographics of people probably shouldn't ever visit those states for their own personal safety, they're the same. They're the same.
yeah, they're the same. They're the
If
same.
I hold up a picture of Florida and Texas, it's like these are the same thing. These are the same thing.
Exact same thing.
What? Oh my God! Yeah, it is May 24th. There's been some news. We'll speak about it. Most of our news talk will probably be leading up to next month's. As usual, June is always a big episode for us. I think we've hit over 3 hours every like June for the past like 2 or 3. Um, just because fucking there's no state of play this month. There's been a state of play every May for the past 5 years, and they moved it to June 2nd or some shit. So that's crazy. But like, so June, there's gonna be a lot to talk about. But we will have a fun little pre-June Jeff Keighley Summer Cult Festival where you will worship the gods of gaming, as it were, later in the show. But for
Yeah,
now, we're talking about May.
May. Yeah, well, I'll also
It's
say something
gonna
really
be
funny.
May.
It's gonna be May. I think one of the funny things is that I saw a video in regards to the state of play, specifically from Maximilian,
Dude,
and
all right, hold on. I
this.
haven't watched this, but I've seen. Is it the one with the thumbnail with the money ringing on him? And he's like,
Yeah,
Max goes crazy. I'm gonna need Max to chill out. Every state of play. I don't know when this like heel turn happened in the anthology that is the lore of Maximilian on YouTube, and there's some heavy lore. That dude's been around for a minute, right? Like one of the oldest probably at this point that I know of. But like I don't know when State of Play became this. I'm betting big on like
he's
crazy hot
he's
takes.
literally just like I think
Bloodborne.
someone pointed out in his like comment section he is willing to give close to over 10,000 gift subs.
If
Um
what?
if like several things that if everything happens on that list, it's like
If
over
every,
10,000 gift
I love
subs.
I love that it's like you had the only way you could summarize it is um if everything happens.
Yeah, if everything on his list happens, it's like over 10,000 gift subs. It's like closer to probably like 15,000. But I do feel bad because someone's saying like, man, what's his daughter's name? Riley. Riley's college fund is just gonna disappear. It's like,
I did
yeah,
not
no,
know that his daughter's name was Riley.
yeah, her daughter's name is
That's
Riley.
that's my middle.
No,
That's my
so not
middle name.
Riley. Sorry,
Oh
Ripley.
damn.
Her name is
Oh,
Ripley.
Ripley. Yeah, get the fuck out. That's badass. That kid's gonna grow up and be the coolest.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, Ripley.
that's
My bad.
instant cool status. Like that is a name that is, okay, Ripley, like come on. Come on.
Yeah,
Like
that's why.
that kid's never getting bullied. That kid's got like instant streak at the moment their name is given to them. Ripley? Oh my god.
Immediate aura. You just already just.
That kid could get in some kind of weird advanced construction equipment and fight off a xenomorph and live to tell the tale.
Yeah.
And they will go back for the cat, because you gotta go back for the cat. Come on, you can't leave the
Always
cat.
go back to the cat.
The xenomorph's gonna eat the cat. What are you gonna do? You gotta get the cat. Oh my god. That's gotta be typed immediately. The xenomorph is gonna eat the cat. The xenomorph is gonna eat
The xenomorph's gonna go for the cat.
Eat the cat. You gotta go back.
You gotta go back.
You gotta go back. Oh my god. By the way,
Yep,
episode 30, my friend. Since
30, damn.
Since the rebranding, relaunching with the godsend that has been Libsyn, even though their service bumped up from like the 15 to 25 a month, it's still fucking worth it. Just cause like, holy shit, I don't know if you remember the level of frustration that was trying to like get the podcast on places, and now I just pay someone to do it. And it's easy. And the show's grown because of it, which is great. And it's like now I just get to focus on doing the show instead of being like, what do you mean this isn't the right RSS feed? You said it was 2 seconds ago.
Oh my god, yeah, no, yeah.
Shout out to the boys at Chilluminati, Mathis, and them that pointed me towards Libsyn. I'm actually wearing the Chilluminati Alex's Big Smile shirt right now. Wearing a podcast shirt while I do my podcast.
Damn.
Dude, someday, maybe when I'm in my 40s and we're still doing this shit, and we've had a couple more years of growth, I might just like fucking shoot the shot and just Blue Sky, if that's still around or whatever, the Chilluminati boys, and be like, you guys want to like come on a show and talk about video games for like an hour or some shit?
Yeah.
I'd love to have every single one of them on at some point. Like, I would love that so bad. I've tweeted before, back when it was Twitter and whatever random, and I've done it on Blue Sky too, at Alex Fossiani directly many times throughout my life. You could probably go find it if you knew how to do this shit, like to find my old like social media posts where I'm adding at Alex, and I'm just like, Alex just seems like a guy I want to smoke a joint and have a burger with and talk about space or some shit. I don't know. And he's just like, yeah, every time. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like it'd be a really good time. I feel like I could quite easily walk up to Alex Fossiani, hand him a joint, and be like, bro, do you want to talk about some fucking aliens for like 30 minutes while we smoke this?
Fucking aliens.
Bro, do you want to get some good-ass food and talk about aliens and smoke this J? Oh my god, fucking aliens. Somehow that's also about the movie Aliens. You imagine if there was a line in one of the movies where some guy's like, fucking aliens, like after they rip his friend in half.
Jeez.
He just like does a line of cocaine. Fucking aliens.
Fucking aliens, man.
I don't know why he's like from Boston or something. Fucking aliens, man.
Fucking aliens.
Xenomorphs in Boston is the next movie. They're just gonna be in Boston.
Oh damn!
Exclusively.
No,
Boston will get.
Xenomorphs aren't gonna make it.
Yeah, Boston
Xenomorphs just aren't gonna make it.
The Xenomorphs aren't gonna make it. What do you mean?
No, they're just not gonna make it, man. They're just not gonna make it.
Boston greater than Xenomorphs?
Boston greater than Xenomorphs.
Boston greater than Xenomorphs. I don't know why we're so alien, right? Like we have two alien type Boston.
I don't know.
Should it be greater than, or should I put the greater than symbol for the title? I think it's the greater than symbol.
I think the greater than symbol. The greater.
Yeah. What is that? That's the arrow point is the weak one. Is that how that works? I don't remember this shit.
So the
open
end side
is the greater end, right?
Yeah, open end is the greater.
Okay, so I got it. Boston greater than Xenomorphs is incredible. That's stupid as fuck. fucking thing.
God, what are we
All right,
doing?
well, now that we've fucked
What are we
around for
doing?
10 minutes, welcome to the show. Oh,
Damn,
God. Ooh, that's an incredible title.
that's
All the
incredible.
Boston, all the Bostonites, Bostoners, whatever the fuck they're called, they're gonna be like, that's the one! Click, click,
That's the
click.
one. That's the
Hey, fucking alien, get out of here with your
fucking
acid
ending God.
breath. I've been smoking 6 packs of marbles a day. You think I'm scared of your acid saliva? I'm acid. Everybody's toxic. Now get out of my way. I'm walking here. Just like Boston man fights Xenomorphs.
Morph.
Incredible. Oh my god, that's the chuckle I needed. Alrighty, shall we talk about video games and shit now?
Yeah, we should talk about video games and shit.
You want to do your month first?
I mean, yeah, I could do my month. It's funny enough, not much because all I was going to talk about was ending of the Crystal of Theater Idols because that's
Oh
what I was
shit.
trying to finish up last
Oh
time.
shit, the Theater of
Um,
Idols in Boston with the Xenomorphs fight.
oh my god, those puppets don't stand a chance, man. Those
Dude,
puppets
those
don't
puppets
stand.
are fucked.
Those puppets are
Like, are you
fucked.
kidding me? They're just puppets. Like,
Am
fucking
I gonna make
Xenomorph
clam
tail
chowder?
slip goes right through that. The Xenomorph, like, eats clam chowder and dies because it's, like, allergic to it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, tell me about the game.
Okay. So finishing up Crystal Theater of Idols, I have to say, uh,
I have
I
to say, I can't
wasn't
believe the villain turned out to be from Boston.
Boston. That son
Sorry.
of a bitch.
I'm mute. I gotta mute. I'm gonna keep doing this. Tell me about this game while I mute.
Okay. All right. Fuck. God damn it. Okay. Crystal Theater of Idols. The I didn't expect. Like, I knew there was gonna be a twist. Of course, there was always gonna be a twist to the whole story of it. I was in the ballpark of what I was thinking. So yeah, spoilers for Crystal Theater Warriors from here on out. But yeah, we knew Gabriel was gonna be of something, of like either of divine origin or something. Didn't realize he was the actual sun god. Um, but um, yeah, like it was a twist kind of coming, but just didn't know exactly what. But ending wise, um I know that they wanted to leave the ending open and in case they do a sequel, which is fine because I do think overall the game was pretty good. Like I do think like there was still some rough spots in the game. Um and one of the things I guess I had a bit of like I wouldn't say it's a problem. I just think they could have expanded upon per se was essentially the fact that like Um, out of all the things to see
Mm-hmm.
in Tormentosa, there wasn't really a lot of like villagers or townsfolk that were part of the sea gods like cult that were like alive and you could interact with. Like there was no enemies that were like either just followers of the sea god or even like mutated folks or anything like that. And the only reason I bring that up as maybe like an issue is because knowing how that story like flows out where it's like, oh yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
the the sea god is basically just Gabriel's son that he murdered and is taking revenge by trying to destroy the world. But uh, that was like a self fulfilling prophecy because Gabriel was like, "Oh wait, you're going to destroy the world, so I have to kill you." Like, stupid Gabriel, come on, man! Like come on, like you got to think a bit like a second. But all right, whatever. Um, but I guess like in the vast thing in the like in just in general the whole story it's like okay so you have to now kill your son and your wife again or kill your son again and then kill your wife um
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
like
long.
I would generally feel worse about it if it made me feel like the world that they were destroying was just more like Gabriel's
Alive.
world of like the whole sun worshipping and stuff, and like the world would change more to a sea focus sort of thing. But no, like they're just completely trying to destroy the world. Like there's nothing surviving, no humans or animals or anything of that sort. So it kind of I wasn't feeling guilty about killing them per se as well. Like it was a sort of like middle ground of like I could take it or leave it, and like if me having to kill them. So I kind of wish there was more
Mm,
to that side, so that way like there was a sort of like conflict of whether or not I should do of like having to seal away your son forever so they won't destroy the world. Like I wish there was I guess more conflicting feelings about that sort of thing. Other than that, like it was just kind of like, okay, well, I have to kill you. Like you're there's no other choice about this. Like it made me feel like the choice definitely felt like it was the right one, even though I kind of wish there was more ambiguity to it. That's why I kind of feel like if there was more people on like the cold
mm,
side, not only would have been like kind of like interesting like enemies wise, but like at least
yeah.
story wise,
Yeah, I get what
there
you're
could have been
saying.
more to it.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in that game. I watched the like playthrough of it by Scary Game Squad. Not a game I think I would ever get around to playing. Like,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
good survival horror, but I'm so picky on what I'll play versus what I'll watch. Like what I'll play, like I play like, and even the Resident Evils, I don't play them all. And I also like I fucking hate first person view for survival horror. I don't know why. It wasn't always the case. Like, but now I can't stand it. Like to the point of like I will not play a game if it's first person survival horror because I just don't. You know what it is. You know what it is, and I think this is fair. I'm gonna blame the sin that is the Amnesia franchise for making me hate first person horror.
Okay.
Because we had nothing but like glorified hide and seek repetitive first person horror walking simulators for like 20 years. Remember that fun era where every fucking game is just Amnesia?
Yeah, no, no,
And
no, yeah.
like
It was
like
pretty
it
much
made
like
me
one
hate
of
it,
the.
so now every time something's first person I'm like, no, fuck off, I don't want to
Fuck.
play it. But like yo, Alan Wake 2 is incredible. Like Last of Us Part 1 and 2, incredible. The Resident Evils where I can have a not first person view, incredible. I can't do the first person view anymore, it's just like it bothers me now.
No, I get you. No, no, I completely get you. I think
I feel
that's reasonable.
justified in.
I know
It
for
is
some people,
reasonable that I blame Amnesia for all of the genre's faults. I agree. I'm glad we can agree on this. It
we
is
can agree.
Amnesia's fault.
Of course,
Amnesia
it's
sucks.
completely.
Amnesia sucks. If you like Amnesia, if you think Amnesia was good, and you think that like those fucking games by Bluebird Team, where like the entire plot of all three games is that people with mental illnesses should just die because they're just a danger to themselves and everyone around them, and all it is
Oh my
walking
god, that
around
is
and slowly
so
hiding. Oh, and
stupid.
remember the Outlast franchise that's still going, where the entire game is okay. All right, no more jump scares matter. Barrel 3, barrel 4, back to barrel 3, hide in the cabinet, duck under the table, and that's what the game is. It's not even about the story or the scares anymore. Or there's no action, there's no interaction. You are literally just memorizing the hiding spots where they just the enemy, and it's not even a good hiding spot. It's just that's the one the enemy doesn't check for some reason. It's fucking fuck all that shit. That glorified walking simulator hide and seek memorization shit went on for too goddamn fucking long, and we have still not recovered in the survival horror franchise. That shit was stupid. It was not good at all. Cause like they were like, "Whoa, it's survival horror. You're not supposed to be able to fight back." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's called survival horror, not memorize the hiding spots that the enemy just doesn't look at, even though they looked at 7 other hiding spots that are fucking identical." I fucking hate that
Yeah,
shit. Pisses
I
me off.
the thing with survival horror has always been that sort of like where do you draw the line between giving um the player power to deal with the situation um but also like stripping away that power so
Sure. See,
they feel
I'm
vulnerable. So
always
it's always been like a weird balance, and some
see
games get it, some games never do get it.
I
So
feel like it it's less of a sin to give people more ways to, like, interact with the world and fight back, then give them fucking none. I feel like none, where you just walk down and hide, and the game very quickly stops even being scary and just becomes like a chore list of like, alright, I guess I'll try barrel 3. This nope, they look in barrel 3. Alright, I guess next time I'll try barrel 4, and that's what the whole game is. That's not fun. That's not a fucking video game, bro. That's just Five Nights at Freddy's without the Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, that's nothing. That's nothing. I would rather you go too far in the you gave me too many ways to fight back every time, because at least that's a fucking video game that I'm interacting with. Like the other
Mhm.
way is worse by far, because it's like they both achieve the same problem, except one of them is boring. And that's the big part, is when you go full nothing, it's boring, repetitive, and the scares don't matter, even though you can't fight back. And if you've created an environment where the scares don't matter, the monster doesn't matter, the horror is irrelevant and non-existent, even though I can't fight back, then you've definitely fucked up. Yes, there are Resident Evil and other games where it's like, yo, I'm way too strong in this. And that is a problem, but at least, like, because you're way too strong, you might get cocky and still die to something. Whereas you're
Mhm.
really not gonna die in the game where all you can do is hide, because, like, it's, I don't know, I feel like the complete nothing interaction is the worst sin by far, because it achieves the same problem except it's boring the whole time. And, like, I feel like when I'm watching someone play one of those games and you can see the moment they've, like, checked out of the world, checked out of the horror, checked out of all of it, because all there is to do is find the next hiding spot, and that's all they're doing, and you can see them just, like, when they die, they don't even, like, blink, they just reload, and they just run to the right hiding spot, run to the next one they learned, run to the next one, okay, they're back in the room where they don't know where to hide, so they try the third spot, and then they die, and then they just rinse and repeat, try the fourth spot. Whereas when you give them a game where they can fight back, like, even a little too much, you can see them start to, like, try to do stuff that's, like, reckless, and make their own challenges in the game, because they are too strong. And at least then there's some player initiative to, it's like, okay, yeah, you overtuned it, but we can, the player, because they can interact with the world and the horror so much, can start to, like, try things to make the game more challenging for them, right? Where it's like,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when you do the other way around, it's like, no, there's nothing else to try. This is it. This is all there is. This is all there will ever be. And difficulty options in a world where all you do is hide is irrelevant and doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like the one is the way more egregious sin, because I feel like there's nowhere to go. It's just already dead in the water. Whereas, like, yeah, Resident Evil gets a little crazy, but it's also like, I haven't played Requiem, but I like the appeal of Requiem being that one you can choose your camera angle, first person, third person. Great choice, by the way. But like, I like that, like, having watched the whole playthrough twice by Scary Game Squad, it's like, yeah, Grace gets there, but not really. Whereas Leon, from the moment you are Leon to the end of the game, is just, he's Leon S. Kennedy. He does not fucking care at this point in his life. He's fucking 40 something goddamn years old or whatever. Like, he killed the president when the president was a zombie. Remember that? Like
Yeah, I remember that.
it makes sense that Leon is able to just kind of keep moving forward through shit. Right? Like, Leon should not be scared of these things at this point. That makes sense as a character, as a story, as a world. Leon is like the last motherfucking guy on the world that should be remotely fazed by any of this shit. Whereas Grace is a mess the whole game. Even I like that. I think that's the smartest system I've seen to cater to both ends of the argument. Because Grace also is not powerless, it's just her power is very limited and needs to be managed very carefully, because Grace cannot fight everything very easily. In fact, you often will not fight everything, you will leave them for Leon to handle later. I like that. I think that's a good way to do it. I think you can iterate on that dual system and be like, no, 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 one of you is like the person that is gonna experience more horror than the other one, because you're nobody. You're not cut out for this. You are not Leon S. Kennedy. But that means, correspectively, Leon S. Kennedy should not be concerned about the zombies or monsters coming at him. He should pull out the Requiem and give him what's what. Like, I like that a lot. I will say, I don't know if you've ever gotten to play Alan Wake 2. I think does
No.
Alan Wake 2, I think, does a very, very good job of empowering you, the player, but also like weakening you in new ways. And the power and like the way Saga goes through things and the way Alan goes through things are very different. Um, and I feel like that game did a pretty good job of like, yeah, you're both capable of like shooting stuff and all this other shit, but like in you utilizing like environmental storytelling and atmospheric like tension and the way the game plays out. I feel like that game never once in that game did I feel like we've both played RE4 Remake. I would say that about like halfway through RE4 Remake, I'm definitely not concerned about anything coming at me. I can still fuck up and die to it, but like I'm good to go. You know, I'm gunned out. I'm decked out. Alan Wake 2, I didn't really ever feel like that. Even when I had all the weapons and max upgrades, I still didn't feel like that. It felt very easy to make a mistake that would cost me my life in Alan Wake 2 the whole time.
Mhm.
It's like if I play it perfectly, then yeah, I probably would disagree with my statement. But like, I'm not perfect at these games, so like,
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2 is a world where my mistakes still cost me, even when I have all the gear I can have. And the world itself just kind of seems like almost
I think
designed to out evolve me in a way, like especially Alan's parts in the dark world. Those parts are fucked. There are parts of Alan's story in that game where I opened doors and looked at what was inside, and I closed that door right back up, and I went down the other hallway, and I'm like, I'm gonna be back for that. That is a room of screaming baby corpses painting on walls. I'm gonna come back for that later.
I will say Resident Evil still has that issue of of like that hide and seek gameplay because they still do it
Oh yeah. Oh, I've
in
seen
their
it in
sections,
random.
and those always
Yeah.
tends to be like the parts that I hate the most because it's really much it's a time, it's just like a what's it called, a, it just feels like
Yeah.
padding,
I don't
like
like the hide and seek thing. I would rather prefer, and it's not much different, but it's different enough that I prefer it. And Alan Wake does this. Alan Wake 2 does this. When the fucking like darkness screaming monster of like scribbles in the ether of reality starts chasing you as Alan, there's there's no fighting this. There's no hiding. It is run time. Run. Run now, Alan. Run until you get to the point where it can't chase you anymore. And yes, that's often like the safe room that you passed earlier that seemed like it was in a weird spot, but like it's still there's no hiding. There's no like tricking it. It's like no. Get the fuck out of its way before it consumes you. And I think I
yeah.
prefer that over like hide, let it walk by, move up, hide, let it walk by. You know you're trying to get there and just slowly work your way around. I prefer the no fuck it just run kind of vibe way more. Um
Yeah,
I,
no,
I,
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I think honestly the key to a lot of survival horror in the future will be it depends on the type of game you're making too, because like Last of Us 2, that is a game where you gear the fuck up comparatively compared to the first one. Like the amount of guns and like ways you can gear up in Last of Us 2 and the way that gameplay controls that allows you to like really innovate your tactics throughout the game. You, I still feel like that's the best gameplay any survival horror has ever had, bar none. It gives you the most to work with in terms of like how your character can move, what they can do, and the things they accumulate along the way to fight. And yet, the nature of that world is so brutal and savage that like I yeah, if you play your sequence perfectly, you're pretty fucking you look pretty cool, but like I don't know, there's something about it that like The Last of Us 2, despite how strong and like how many like the ability to like crawl prone under a thing, shoot a monster or a guy in the ankle, toss a smoke bomb, roll out from the car, toss quick switch to the bow and arrow to shoot this thing to make it fall, run over like all these like guerrilla warfare tactics, I guess, that you're doing,
Yeah. Yeah,
make
yeah,
it
yeah.
seem not so dominant even if you're dominated, right? Like even if you just completely cleaned up in an area, never took any damage, you don't feel like how you feel when Leon just blitzes through a place, right? You
Yeah.
feel like, okay, you played this perfectly, and the reward is you didn't lose any health. You still expend most of your goddamn ammo. Like that's your reward in that. Whereas like your reward for being perfect in Resident Evil sometimes feels like, wow, you just cleaned up this whole hallway and you still have so much ammo and health, right? Like
Hmm.
it's a hard place to ever get, and I think it's
It's
a
it's
genre that
it's
will always be. There is no game that's ever gonna land it perfectly. I don't think it can be done because I think what this genre means to a lot of people is very different. Because some people surely will argue, well, wouldn't survival horror just be about like surviving the thing and not fighting back? And it's like, in theory, yes, except my brother is in the powers of the blood god. It's a fucking video game, not a movie. It's a lot better if it was a movie and all they did was run or hide to survive. That's a movie. That's what you
yeah.
call it.
That's
That's a
that's the
movie.
movie. Yeah.
That's a movie. That's why that should be a movie. Amnesia and all that shit, way better movie than game. Like, facts. Like, as a game, something you have to play that doesn't feel good. It just feels like dragging my feet for 16 hours of hiding in closets. It's not engaging. And if your horror isn't engaging, why am I playing it, right? Like, it's the same thing if it was a movie in the horror. Imagine like I'm sure you could think of some. I could. Boring horror movies where it's like, yeah, there's horror in here, but the way it's portrayed and the
Oh,
pacing of it, you're
easily.
just like, you just kind of like tune out and you're not even like getting any adrenaline rush. And I feel like that sin is infinitely worse in games because I have to make it move forward. I can't just sit here and let it run its course. Like, I would rather watch boring horror movies every day than play boring horror video games. Like, if your horror game is boring, it's bad. And in case anyone disagrees with that, I'd like to point out to the incredible indie horror game scene that makes incredible survival horror games that are compelling from start to finish with a lot less resources and a lot less stuff going on than like Amnesia or those games that are sins among the horror industry and anything Blooper Team's ever done. It's like
Yeah,
fucking
we
Signalis.
we've
Signalis is incredible. It's a masterpiece,
Signalis,
right?
we've
Like,
had mouthwash, and even some were like
dude,
I would say like
mouthwash is
are even
fucked. Mouth
like I
and
enjoy Crow Country.
mouthwash is almost also just a walking game, a walk and talk
Yeah,
game, and it's incredible. So it's like, don't tell me it can't be done. You just didn't put in the fucking effort to do. You wanted to be like, well, you can't fight the monsters, so we're a better survival horror game. And it's like, sure, in theory. And then when you play the game, it's boring as fuck, and that's not interesting. I should never be bored if your game has horror in its genre. That's the last genre that should be boring me on the fucking planet.
like I think even some games like Crow Country and even I like Tormented Souls was one where like I still had issues, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I overall still enjoyed um what it brought to the table as
I
well.
genuinely I genuinely think Signalis is maybe one of the greatest survival horror games that's
Oh
come
yeah,
out in
yeah,
the last
everyone
20
is
years.
is yeah,
Any
everyone.
anyone who doesn't agree with that, go fuck yourself. All caps, go fuck yourself. One word. Like, if you don't think Signalis is one of the greatest survival horror games made in the last 20 years, you can go suck on a dildo that's been dipped in 7-year-old mayonnaise, okay?
Jesus.
That's how much I love Signalis. I like
Fair.
it when the
Very fair.
lesbian robots kiss over and over in infinite timelines. I'm a big fan of that. We'll get more to that in Marathon.
Maybe. Maybe.
No, we will. I've played a lot of Marathon. Okay, I'm almost 200 hours in the first season. I haven't played an FPS like this since Black Ops 3. Straight up, like, it's my Black Ops 3. We'll get there. Back to original, unless you want to talk a little more about like the survival
Um
horror stuff. But we were on Crystal Isle of Theaters.
Crystal. I mean what else to say about this survival horror other than like I do really think that like
A lot is the problem, but like there's no clean
yeah.
answers. And I feel
There's
like
there's
you
really
and
no
I have had a couple episodes now where we have had like an hour long conversation about survival horror. I feel like we've done this a couple times now, and every time we both kind of have the same points. We agree on some things and disagree on others, and then neither one of
I
us
definitely
has
have
like a
some.
perfect solution either.
I
It's just
definitely
like,
have
yeah,
some
there's not a.
very spicy takes when it comes to some of the modern horror games. There's,
Oh,
but I will
for
leave it.
sure. Have you
I
ever played the Last of Us games?
I've only played the first one and part of the second one. The first one, I was like, I could take it or leave it. The second one, I think I only got through maybe like a third of the game before I just dropped it.
Really?
Yeah, I just did not enjoy my time with The Last of Us in general.
Wow, I
So,
love this too. It's like my favorite franchise for survival horror right now. Like honestly,
and
like Last of Us is so good. That's crazy to me.
it's crazy. But hey, look, I'm one of the people who is also I love Resident Evil, but I think modern Resident Evil is just not for me. Like I think it's uh
Oh,
probably a lot like it's probably like for me like the worst ever Resident Evil, but that's just me. So
the worst?
yeah.
Wow, you really do think highly of 5 and 6, don't you?
Four, even the originals one, two, and three. Um,
Oh, hold on now. You can't do that. No, no, no. I'm not allowing this. No, no, no. You
what
said
do you mean?
modern Resident Evil. Resident Evil 5 and 6 are not modern Resident Evil. That counts
I
as
don't.
old
That's
Resident
not.
Evil.
No, no.
Yes, yeah.
For me, modern Resident Evil is from seven and forward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if modern isn't for you, that means you like 5 and 6. You think they're good.
Yes,
And I,
I do
I do,
enjoy five and
dude,
six.
dude. 5 is not even a horror game. What are you talking about? 5 is nothing. 5 is so bad. 5 is so bad.
I
Five,
will
Chris
have to
is
say
Chris in
this.
this character that never came up again and doesn't matter. Like I just watched Super Beard Burst play through 5. There's nothing horror about this entire game.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. What I'm saying is that
What do you
everything
mean
of
that's
everything. What I'm saying in general is that everything about modern Resident Evil from like I said, seven and forward, is all they lack some of the identity that was at least present in five and six, and a lot of their at least a lot of like the action gameplay that we've seen like from RE9 and even RE4 remake, like a lot of it was you could see a lot of their DNA come from six. Like just in general, like that combat flow and everything. If you see six and you see now, or you see how much like six influenced like the
Okay,
that
hold on.
action
See,
parts and stuff.
I
And
don't think you can associate that to 6 as like
no,
six's influence. I
it's
think you're
six
just
just
talking about like
hands
modern
down.
gaming influence though. Like I
No,
don't
no,
like what I'm
like
getting is like that's not 6 is not the template for Resident Evil. Let's be very clear. That's what I'm saying.
no,
I
it is for action Resident Evil. For everything that's been in modern action Resident
what
Evil,
okay, what about
six has
7 though?
been.
Hold up. 7 is like I can understand what you're saying for 8 even 9 definitely your case makes sense even if I don't agree with it. 7 though?
No, no,
7
no.
doesn't
I
feel
said
very
action. I
action
no.
oriented.
That's what I'm saying. Action oriented Resident Evil. That's why I'm like only saying nine and even four. Like I'm not going to seven. Seven was trying to build its own thing, and I gave it the respect for that because I do think that having like a new perspective and like a new character, like that was something I was like, okay, it was a bit rough, especially because I didn't really like the Mia parts of it, but I could see what they were trying to do, and I was like, okay, let's see where this heads. I can see like modern Resident Evil shifting to a new
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I could be like fine with that. Like I could be
Okay.
completely fine with that. But as the remake started coming out, um, and then seeing what nine is, um, I just started seeing like, okay, now I see what Capcom wants to do with Resident
Okay.
Evil, and I just don't agree
All
that
right.
that's
So
the best way to
I
take
have
it.
some follow-up questions then.
Sure.
One, do you see yourself not bothering with future Resident Evil? Like RE10, are you just not going to bother? Have you hit that point or are you still willing to go or is it just becoming not high priority like cuz you hit 9 pretty much like I feel like you've been hitting them as they came out. Like you hit them
Yeah,
pretty
no, I
quickly. Or
yeah.
basically, is it like, are you just I'm not fucking with the new shit, or are you gonna be like, all right, I'm still gonna play it because maybe we'll get one that's like my cup of tea, what I'm looking for, but it won't be as much a high priority as like as quickly as it came out. Because I feel like they came out and you were playing them within like the month or two they came out. Do you feel like where it's at currently, like if 10's announced, even if it seems from marketing and what you've seen of it that it seems like it's way more your alley, are you now like more hesitant to like jump in like launch month? Is it like lowering in
If
priority if there's other things happening in the game
I
industry at that
can't
point?
I can't remember specifically if I did this with 5, but almost every Resident Evil I've played
Mm-hmm.
um that like was coming out at the time, I almost always got it that day, or it was a pre-order. Like
Mm.
it was
Yeah,
very
that's what I
much
say. So
like
like even with
like
your criticisms of the new
with
era, you
10,
still hit
I
them
almost
almost
will wait
instantly.
for it. I would now with how things have been, I almost feel like with 10 I'm just going to wait until it goes on sale or something per se.
Okay.
If I feel
Okay.
like
Fair
I
enough.
want to
Fair enough. So then
yeah,
my
like
next follow-up question then is, so out of modern Resident Evil, modern being 7, 8, and 9,
yeah.
and not counting the modern remakes, because I for me those are differentiating, because like what a modern remake of an old game is, its entire goal is different in what it's selling me than a new Resident Evil, right? Like I'm not going into them even expecting, like those are two different products that need to be put in different categories to me. So
Mhm.
modern being 7, 8, and 9, and any of the DLC you want to include, of that, where would you say was the strongest game for you?
7, 8, 9. Fuck. It's hard to say. Um because it's almost a toss up between 8 or 9, and 9 specifically it's Grace's section. Specifically Grace's sections are the ones where I feel like where I would give a toss up. But like I enjoyed Ethan's time as a character, and I'm sad that he only really had 2 games to offer because I kind of wish I could have seen more of him, but I get it. The thing with 8 in particular is that it this happens, this is generally what happens um with a lot of Resident Evils. I would say with modern Resident Evil, their first section is their strongest, and then everything after that feels slightly weaker compared to it. Um,
Very front loaded, in your opinion.
yes, it's super
Okay.
front loaded
Let me
because
let me
even
just
I would say
pause
like
this right
Grace's
here.
the Grace section with in the care center
Mm.
was the strongest part of Resident Evil
Mm.
9.
Mm.
Um, because it's kind of like that, like the opening session of like, okay, like Grace is like now trying to figure out how to get out of here, and like you feel that the very much tension of like not having a lot of stuff at that point,
Yeah. Oh
trying to
yeah.
figure things out. um and they try to sort of do that again with Grace at the very end once they're in the Raccoon City Center, but at that point I don't know, it just kind of like I feel like we're just trying to drag along and trying to like get towards the end, and like I introducing the Lakers was like a I guess like a better thing to do, but at that point, um, the Lakers were a little bit finicky on how to interact with him, but overall, I was like, I'm just getting through at that point. For me, I was just trying to get through. I wasn't really like
Mm.
trying to enamor myself with the experience anymore.
I got
So
you.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to pause real quick here, and I'll be right back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, sorry, a brief pause that they're not gonna hear, and we're back. And still on the survival horror stuff. So then we talked a bit about what you think of modern Resident Evil. So then another follow up would be like, of the remix, where would you go then? Like
Remakes is
same
so
question,
hard.
remakes.
Yeah, here's the thing. Remakes is such a hard answer because
Mm-hmm.
I try to go back to 2 remake several times after. like doing a lot of it, and almost every time I'm like, God, I hate playing through this game again. Like I'm just sick and tired of this game. And I did
Okay.
RE3 remake, and I 100% completed that one, and I'm just like, this just isn't really that fun. Like, as much as I
Wow.
get what they're going for, it's just really not that fun. And then 4 remake is
So it
the
sounds
the better
you hate it.
gameplay,
You hate
but
it for a remake. I remember this. You're like,
yeah,
this is
no, yeah.
ass.
It was because like the gameplay is fine, but everything about it made RE4 for me just generally worse. Um, and I just was like, oh god damn, like this isn't 4. This is whatever this amalgamation is. Um,
That's so funny to me. I would rather play the 4 remake than original for
like
every
4,
single
like
week.
if I had to choose, if I really had to choose 4 remake, I'll pick 4 remake, but I'll do it with grit in my teeth and
Yeah.
just
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's understandable. Um, so I guess just a brief taste here of or down the road roadmap segment or later in the episode
uh-huh.
because with RE9 done, there's gonna be like a major expansion DLC and stuff, but a lot
We
of
did,
rumors circulating
yeah.
around Code Veronica could be the next
Yes.
remake. Like, are
It's
you
definitely
like if Code
between
Veronica happens and a remake is announced? How do you feel about that? Basically, like,
that one I don't know how to feel about because I have not played Code Veronica. Like I just
ooh,
haven't played it.
oh, okay. So, like,
It's
honestly, low key, if it's Code Veronica, I kind of want you to play it as quickly as possible because I'm so curious. As like just an experiment of like, is your opinion of this remake going to be miles better than the other remakes because you haven't played the original? Is that what's gonna happen, or is it still not gonna land with you? It'll be so
so wait.
interesting if there's no like old game for you to be like, it's not this, right? Like, oh my god, that's I see. I just
Wait, do you
assumed you
want me to
played
play
every
Code
Resident
Veronica
Evil.
original first and then the remake if it happens? Is that what you're
um,
doing, or you want me to play the remake first and then the original?
if
Which one are you?
if Code Veronica remake is real, I want you to play the remake without playing the original, just to see if without that like previous iteration of this game does it change how you appreciate or don't appreciate things in the remake, right? Because, like, there's no denying that having played the originals and then playing the remake, even if you, like, gun ho love the remakes, your experience with the original game shapes your experience with the new thing, right? Like, that's just how brains work, that's how people work. Like, I've never played Code Veronica either, so, like, I would have no, like, I don't even know anything about Code Veronica. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would be interesting because it seems overall the remakes are the greater sin to you. At least is what it sounds like from my end. So I'm wondering if like Code Veronica remake comes out and you play the remake having never played the original, are you gonna come out of that with a more positive overall review of it than you have had of the remakes where you have also played the original? Because every like remake you've played, you seem more critical of those or like
Mhm.
I feel like you're less happy with their remake experiences than you are with the new modern Resident Evil, even though you aren't super pleased with where modern Resident Evil has been. At least it seems like because there is the original RE4, the original RE2 and 3, when you play the remakes that you're like, it's this is for the new people, this is not for me, I'd rather play the original. And I
Yeah, yeah.
wonder how you're going to feel having never played original Code Veronica. So yeah, I would prefer if it comes out and it's Code Veronica remake, I would love to see like what you think of that remake when that's the only version of it you fucking played. Because it's definitely like gonna change a little bit, probably how you feel about it. You could come out of it even more critical though. Like
Yeah.
it's an interesting little thought experiment.
Yeah, no, I definitely will have to like I'll do that.
If
I won't
Code
even touch the
Veronica remake
original.
comes
I know
out, I
about
would rather
yeah,
you play the remake then play the original
the
and get
original.
back to me and see like do
Yeah,
it in reverse order and see if
I'll
it
do in
shifts
reverse
anything
order.
for you. That's
I
so interesting.
like here's the thing. I know about Code Veronica's the story, some of the
Oh, I
gameplay and
don't
stuff
know
like that.
anything
So
about it.
I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna go in completely blind,
Mm-hmm.
but having not played anything of it, having like I've only the only things I know about Code Veronica is that compared to the other Resident Evils that came out at that point,
Mm-hmm.
um, it was very different, and they definitely had upped some of the difficulty in that game.
Mm.
Like there was definitely um um there's a lot more friction into a lot of things. So like I will see how that
Right. Okay.
changes for
I
the
kind of
remake.
really hope it's Code Veronica. I did not know that you hadn't played the original, so that's really
Yeah, no,
interesting to like see how that would play out.
it will be interesting. You're right. This is going to be
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, because it's like you haven't had that happen yet because you've played all the originals. So every remake, it's like there is, regardless of whether you're positive or negative overall or a mixed bag or whatever, regardless of like where your review critique of the remake lands, it is influenced by your time with the original game. That's unavoidable, right? Like that is
Yeah.
unavoidable as a human being. Like when they reboot a movie franchise with new actors, and it's like, okay, whether I liked or loved the old thing is actually irrelevant here. What's relevant is that there is an old thing, and my brain will do the human thing of like, here's the parts that were better this time around, but here's the parts that were worse this time around. It's why remakes never 100% land with an entire audience. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
can't do
yeah.
it. It's the sequel syndrome problem, except worse. So it'd be very interesting to see you play them reverse order like that and see like what do you think of a remake if you've never played the original, because then for you it's not a remake because you haven't played Code Veronica. And I bet you I my bet is that you would probably come out of it more positive than you have been about previous remakes, simply because you don't have the prior experience to compare it to. But I would also double down on that bet and bet that if you did do Veronica remake and that was your first time with Code Veronica, and you're more positive about that remake than the others, and then you went and did original Code Veronica, I would expect you to come back and then be more critical of the remake, having now played the original. I think ultimately you're still going to land in the same place, but I think initially it might make the remake seem more appealing to you, having not had the previous one to play. It'll be interesting to see. I kind of really hope
I
it's Code
I
Veronica now.
think
That'd be so
I
neat.
think what's going to happen to me is you're right on how it's going to end, but I think my
Mm-hmm.
initial thing
You
of
think you're still
remake
gonna
is
be
going to
critical even having
I
not
still
played the
think I'm going to
original?
be like this is
Interesting.
like because again, a lot of the remake stuff, a lot of the things that make these modern remakes uh, is still gonna permeate into that Code Veronica remake. Like they're gonna
Mm,
change a lot
mm,
of the voice acting. They're gonna change the way the characters are. They're going to change how some of the combat works and things like that.
mm-hmm.
And like that's still like within
Exactly.
the confines of the remake. So
Oh,
I'm
100%.
it's so I know like going into it like I know how Steve Burnside is as a character. So I know if how much they're going to change him and be like, oh yeah, no, that's not Steve Burnside. That's whoever fuck ass that guy is. I guess. So like I know deep down, like a lot of the stuff that I'm critical of modern Resident Evil is going to just be in Code Veronica remake. So I
Interesting.
think I'm still
Yeah.
going to be very critical of it. But then once I
Okay.
play the original compared to it, I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe there's some improve. They changed a few things here where I
Yeah.
can agree. But
Interesting.
overall, it's gonna
It'll
be
be really
like no,
interesting to
this
see
is
you experience it that way, regardless. I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you been playing anything else besides
Yes.
console active shooters? What else is up for you?
So I was trying my hard to get myself to play Romeo is a Dead Man, but I have not gone around to it. Um,
Mm. That
instead,
is
what
the
I've
latest Suda 51 game.
yes, the
Okay.
Grasshopper
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I didn't get around to it. Instead, what I've been doing because I've been wanting to get myself go through my back catalog of games that
Mm-hmm.
I've basically put down because I was go close to beating it, but then I just put it down for no reason. Um,
Brain
and so one of
happens.
those,
I've been kind of doing the same. We talked about it briefly. Is I have a
yeah,
list of like single player stuff, and I'm like, I was enjoying this, and then just life stress, and I put it down, and I haven't
yeah, yeah,
picked
yeah.
it back up, and now I would like to see these through to their end. So yeah,
Yes.
totally
So
get you. It's weird that that happens, but it does happen. That's how backlogs
yeah,
exist.
yeah. So
Very
so the
rarely is
one.
my backlog like something I bought and never played at all.
Oh
Usually
yeah,
that's
that,
not the
that's
case at
that's a
all.
big backlog of mine. But like at least in that one, I could be like, I can pick and choose how I want to start those per se. But
Yeah,
like
yeah, for
some of them
sure.
where like I start and didn't finish, I'm like, God, I have to go back and I have to relearn the game again.
Yeah, that is
I have to
why like
relearn
I'm
it.
doing one at a time and I started over because like the one I picked was Forspoken, and I'll talk more about it because I've gotten even
Mhm.
further. But like, I started with one that I knew I was gonna have to start over. Whereas like when I pick up Liza P, it is installed and sitting there. I like it'll take me probably an hour to like muscle memory my way back into this, but I'm not gonna start over. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I'm like middle of the DLC still.
Um, so the one that I was doing is Marvel Midnight Suns.
Mmm.
That one I was
Oh.
that one literally I was only a few missions away from beating it. Like it was like that close.
That's the like it's Marvel XCOM, isn't it?
Yes,
Like, but it's
but it's a
isn't
card
it
game as
also like
well.
it's a
It's
card
a
game,
card game.
which like I never saw any of that in the marketing for the game. That it was a card game. That it was like a deck
Yeah,
battler, right? Like
yeah.
that was never made clear to me at any point until like I think you told me that, and I was like, "What? Oh, that makes me not want to ever play it." I was like, "What? What do you mean it's a
It's
deck battler?"
yeah, yeah. So essentially, the way it plays is that like you pick three characters to battle in, and like the mission is whatever it asks you. So like beat the enemies, open up the crates that have stuff, defend a thing, destroy a thing,
XCOM,
so on and so
yeah.
forth. And so the way it is that each character has a deck of 8 cards. So in total, your deck's going to be 24 cards. Um, However, there are things that can be added to that deck depending on how much friendship level you have with characters, as well as just kind of like um play style of that character. So for instance, Ghost Rider is the one I'm thinking of. Ghost Rider has it so I think after leveling up his soul gauge, you will get a card that's like costs 1, um and it's like it gives him life steal, and it chains. And what chains means is that like you can apply that effect. You can apply that card one more time. So like if
Okay.
it's like it does like I don't remember the attack damage, but like you can apply like let's say 81 damage, and you can apply again on the character, or you can chain it to another enemy essentially. And the whole thing about that card for him is that every time you use it, it increases the amount of times you can overlap that effect again. So if you
Okay,
so
got you.
after killing more enemies, you get that card again, and then you can keep making it more and more powerful. But in the game, like I said, if your friendships are high, you get what's called hero combo cards, which is essentially like it could be your main character, like your OC that you create for the game, um or it could be like the other two Marvel characters that are fighting. Like they'll get like a combo card, and like that one does like a lot of damage, and sometimes it will have like an effect to it. So it's like um it'll be like increase the damage of another card for until it's used up, or recover health, or gain block, or some other thing, or apply like a negative status on an enemy, so on and so forth. Um, so it's very varied in that regard, and like because it's your OC who is Hunter, and the whole story about this game is that um you are the child of Lilith, um,
Okay.
and so this the initial story takes place back in 1600, where uh Lilith, your mom, was trying to use, I guess, powers of Chthon. Um
Mm-hmm.
and so you battled your mom, and both of you, I guess, died. Um and so the only ones to take care of you or like look over your resting place was someone called the Caretaker and Agatha. Um, and so at that point, like the Midnight Suns was your thing, but then went into hiding, and then now modern times, you have now the new Midnight Suns, um, trying to deal with the Midnight Sun prophecy, which is when the Midnight Sun comes, so will darkness, which is basically Cthon. And so Lilith comes back again, tries to restart the prophecy. Um, and so they try to bring you back and they revive you using um, Caretaker's powers and Nico, which is a Blood Witch, and she's one of the Midnight Suns, essentially. Um,
Okay.
and so now you get revived, and now you have to go fight your mother again. Um,
Mm.
and so the Midnight Suns in this iteration is Nico, Blade, Robbie, who is the new Ghost Rider, and
Yeah.
Magic. And those are like the four ones you start out with, and you also start with two Avengers, which
Like,
is
like I know
Iron Man and
Wolverine's in
Doctor
there too,
Strange.
right? Like
Yes,
Wolverine's there.
Wolverine is
Wait, isn't
a character in
Storm
this.
there? Isn't Storm there?
Storm is DLC character. So
Yeah,
there's
there's DLC
there's
people as well because I know Deadpool's in
yes,
there.
yes, yes. So like the
Now
base roster at the start is the
you gotta
Midnight
be.
Suns.
I've heard there's rumors of romance in this game. Is there romance in this
So that's
game?
the thing. It's friendship levels. It's not really romance.
All right,
Um,
I don't care. I just wanted to make out with Storm. Now I don't
I
care.
know, I know,
Whatever. Fucking
I
stupid.
know.
Game's 0 out of 10. Deck battler, and I can't even make out with Storm. Like fucking kill me. The
No,
fuck's
you
the
cannot.
point?
No,
What's the point then, Vaughn? What's
I
the
don't
point?
know. I love card battlers. I love
I do. You
so
really do. It's really weird. Your love of like card battlers as a concept in just genre is only matched by your dislike of modern Resident Evil.
yeah,
Like
I know, right? It's
if it's a card battler, you are willing to like give a game so much more grace if it's a card battler. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Resident Evil
they
10, it's a
got
card battler.
yeah,
Boom, done, easy. We got him.
boom, we got them.
It's a card battler. It's a card battler.
Yeah, no,
Please,
so
dear God, Capcom, don't do that. That'd be no.
don't
That's
do
not gonna
that.
help. But don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Wait, it's a joke. Please don't do this, Capcom. Dude, Resident Evil as a card battler, I'd fucking, I'd lose
I,
it.
just done, just fucking done.
Like
Um,
you, that franchise would be dead on arrival if you did that.
oh my god.
Card
I mean, they could do it as a
battler.
mobile game if they want to, and who knows if
You
that'll.
could do it as a weird side mini game like the shooting range thing in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like, oh, I got a crazy card game back here for you. You want to play for some high stakes? And it's this weird, like, incredibly intricate, like, card battler mini game that genuinely has, like, real depth to it, but you could just ignore it if you want. Like Gwent,
Yeah, you could
basically.
completely
Yeah,
ignore
yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
Gwent. It's like Gwent. Yeah. It's
yeah,
like
exactly,
there are people who
exactly.
played that game, Witcher 3, and all the expansions, and made sure that they got every Gwent card and beat every Gwent tournament and did the incredibly world-spanning Gwent side quest, which even goes into the DLCs, I believe. And then there are the people like me who like did the tutorial quest to Gwent, did like one more, and then just didn't care. Just didn't care.
I did that, but with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with the card game that they introduced. Oh, excuse me, because that was like a whole thing that you could do as well
Yo, yeah,
in
I
that card.
remember. I
Yeah,
played
yeah,
the
yeah.
first 7 remake. I got like
Um,
somewhere in the second one and got tired of all the side quests and Chadley and just stopped caring about the game entirely and put it down and
yeah.
never picked it back up. I also
Um,
likely won't pick it back up because I'm just like, bro, I don't like games where I have to go out of my way to ignore all the side world shit you put in that doesn't matter. If I have to go
mhm.
out of my way to ignore it, you designed this poorly. It should be optional in that I even discover it or hear about it, not that you're bombarding me with it every 2 fucking seconds. That's not optional content then. That's you demanding I go do your optional. I hate it so much, dude. I stand
Oh,
by the hot take that FF7 remake should have just been the same exact game, but with like better graphics, and it still should have been turn based. It should have just been the same game, but looking how this one looks, and it would have sold better.
no, we can't have that. We have to change everything about it. Come on.
No, that's bad. The game was fine. The game was perfect. They
Um,
ruined it.
so Moral Midnight Suns. We're going back.
Midnight Suns.
Oh,
Midnight Suns. There's no romance.
Suns.
The game's terrible, but it is a card battler, which you
It is a
love.
card battler. Um, like I think out of all the card battlers, I think I enjoy this one because it adds the depth of the 3D playing. Like you actually are involved
Hmm.
um with like having like a an area and like you have to move around. You can use the environment, like
Yeah.
the XCOM stuff part of it.
Yeah.
Um, but like at least it does away with the percent chances, and so like the only percent chance that ever comes into play with that game is whether um sometimes some cards have can apply effects,
Hmm.
but unless it says percent chance to apply effect, it will always apply the effect. Like unless it says specifically
Gotcha,
that
gotcha,
there's a
gotcha,
chance,
gotcha.
it will always apply effect. And the only other case is um you can always kick people off the stage, or if there's like a hole into hell or something like that, you can like
Oh,
kick
okay. I
people
see
or
what you're
push
saying.
them into there, and there's a chance that they can fall in and automatically KO them. The only time, and
That's pretty funny.
the chances increase depending on how low health the character is. So if like they're
Oh.
50% health, there's like a normally like a 50% chance, or you can even increase depending on how strong your character is also against the character. So like sometimes it's better to just like um get them low and then throw them off of the pit so you don't have to like deal with them
Okay.
in some cases.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, like it's a very interesting game. Ending wise, there was something I didn't quite expect. I guess spoilers for this game. Um, Lilith ended up being sort of a good person because they were trying to prevent things from happening. By trying to kill Cathan, but she fucked that up. Like of course. Um, but it honestly, I think the last mission was probably one of the more interesting ones, uh, because I did not expect how that, I guess, mission would run. Which is at first the fight is against your main character because they have a little collar on their neck, that's supposed to be preventing like an outsider influence from like taking over your like body.
Okay.
That outside influence being Cathan. And so when it breaks, Cathan has influence over your character Hunter, and you start the fight by fighting them under the influence. And so you have, um, so you fight with Hulk, and then I think it picks two other random characters to fight with. Um, and
Interesting.
once you finish that fight, um, Hunter regains back their body. Um, and because the collar acted like an inhibitor, essentially now that limiter is removed, so now they have like full offense and full defense, essentially. So like they basically have like an absurd amount of health, and they also have an absurd amount of damage that they can do, sort of, so to speak. So like that was cool. But the thing is that the way that second round of fighting works, or like the
Mm-hmm.
second stage, is there are four characters that get binded and you have to release their binds, um
Okay.
and then when you unbind them you fight to then reapply the bind to Cathan, essentially. And the four characters are supposedly like the four the ones with the highest friendship level, I believe.
Oh, okay.
um So you can influence on how that last match works by trying to get people to with higher influence, essentially. Um, uh, Interesting battle. very kind of hard. Like it was rather difficult, but
I'm gonna be honest. I
still
feel
pretty.
like I would way more interested in Midnight Suns if it was just XCOM. Like the card
I can
battler part,
understand.
I'm so card battlers struggle to pull me in. I've only really dug one that I played on like a Steam demo at one point, but
Hmm.
like that was it. Like
Yeah,
I
wasn't
just
it the one that
something
you showed me
about
before?
yeah,
I thought.
the really nice art style, the really fucked up one, the like
Yeah, yeah,
modern
yeah.
fantasy one. I genuinely liked that world, and I liked the way that card game system works. Something about it was just enough, all the pieces coming together, and that's the only one that I'm like, I played that demo to end like 6 times, and I was like, this is good. This is like I'll play this. This is good. I will play this and finish this game someday. This is a good game. Like I just like Card Battler is just a system that I do not feel engaged with very easily at all. It's so it's almost as egregious as like MMO gameplay to me. Like where I'm just like this is the least engaging type of gameplay you could have made. Like there's something about it that like somehow you took a turn-based thing and made it less engaging, which I feel like is a mistake every time. Like no, what are you doing? But like yeah, it's just that is usually a ooh, I'm probably not gonna like this game if there's a card battler, unfortunately. And it sucks because a lot of them might be like visually and what's going on and story wise, there's cool shit here. But this card battling system, I don't believe in the heart of the cards enough, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's as a card battler, like I said, I do enjoy a lot of the aspects of it. Especially because I think each character like tries to bring in
Mm-hmm.
their like each Marvel champion like makes me feel like I like each like
Mm-hmm.
is very like has their own identity. So like each time I want to play with their deck, it's because I like their deck a
Okay.
lot.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
for me
that
and that's one of the
that
problems that
that helps a lot with it, and that is something that game I talked about, which I forget the name of right now, but that
yeah
was something that I felt that each character and like their class and what they did, because there was also like in that game there's like a skill tree for each character as well, that you're
yes there is a
choosing
skill tree.
where you unlock, like so you have your starter cards that these people have, but as you level up and unlock things in that game. And I'm trying to scroll through my Steam to remember what the fuck this game was called, because I actually want to do play it at some point. I'm so rarely into card battlers that I wanted to like actually make sure I remember what this is called. It is called. Oh God, I should still have this on here, right? Shards of Order. Shards of
Shards of
Order. Yeah. There's still no release date, but I felt like all the characters were interesting, dialogue was interesting, story world building really interesting, the art style and the music some of the best I've ever seen in a card battle in my turn. Like some of the fight music for the bosses that I did in the demo, I was like, yo, this is like peak Final Fantasy level fucking boss music going on in this card game. And it was also that as you play and level up, there's different gear and equipment you're getting, which affects how certain cards and stuff works, and pros and cons to both, like oh this bow over that bow, yeah I'm losing some accuracy here or whatever, but it's making my offensive cards like hit like a fucking gun now. If I hit the shot they're dead, right? Like there was a lot of like everybody was doing different things. Each class, each character felt like they intimately had a very distinct role out the gate with your
Mhm.
minimal deck, and then as you leveled up and got to level up this skill tree, there was like passive increases, but also okay, you can now change what the you can modify this card that's in this cleric's deck. You can make it do this, or you can make it do that, right? So you're picking one, and you can't pick both. So you're shaping like there's already a distinct identity to these characters and what they do in this card battling system, and then you're influencing that where you want it to go more and more over time, so that you're basically like very much D&D leveling up, pick your 5th level spell, whatever, and then you're choosing what subclass am I going into on the higher end, to the point where like multiple playthroughs of this could be easily justified because you could just play it totally differently and end up going through fights in totally different ways. Like
Yeah, so like
Shards of Order has no release date. I still want to play this game when it launches. Like it is the only card battler that I've ever played on the Steam demo Next Fest that I've not only beaten the demo, but beaten it multiple times. And I was blown away by how much I enjoyed that game. As a massive like card battlers do not do it for me. I feel like that says a lot when I'm like Shards of Order is really good. I don't like card battlers. I hate them most of the time. Even if I think everything else about the game is interesting, the card battler system just doesn't do it for me. Shards of Order is the best one I think I've ever played, but it's not even close. Like, and I definitely like want it to come out because when it comes out and I play it, I think if it still lands like it landed for me in the demo and I play it and beat it, maybe that'll be like my stepping stone into trying some of the other card battler games I've queued that I've only touched a little bit and then couldn't keep up with because I'm just like it's just not engaging me.
So like I would say with Marvel Midnight Sun specifically, like
Mm-hmm.
what it is that you start off with that 8 card deck, and the way to improve that deck is that as you play through the game, you get what's called a little like gamma recoil stuff. It's essentially just a little it's the card pack essentially. And that card pack will open up, and you'll get like random cards, and will be of different rarities, and like you basically can, once you get like two of a same card, you can then combine it to give it a better effect, like a better base effect, and sometimes it will give an additional effect with it as well. So um for instance, like some of the cards uh are like uh not only does it do more damage, but then it also has an effect of like you also get card draw with it, or it applies an effect uh an extra time. So it it's it's very simple in that regard. But then um the way that the game tries to do is that you try to also improve the facilities that you're in. So your home base is called the Abbey, and there are upgrades to the Abbey that you can do. So you can upgrade the combat ground. So every time you spar with one of the residents there, uh they get like maybe a bonus, they get better stats. Sometimes like it'll increase their friendship level or increase their level in general,
Okay.
so on and so forth. uh there's the forge, which is where like you open up the card packs per se, but also there's a point where eventually you could just craft whatever card you want. You just need like
Oh,
the
okay.
blueprints or stuff like
Interesting.
that. So yeah, so and there's like a an item creator, which is there are combat items, and you can use those. There's only 3 items you can pick during each mission, and each one has a specific rarity. So uh, just follow like the normal order of rarity. So legendary being an orange, you can only carry one of those in mission, um, but you can grab whatever orange you want. And then for purples, it's only two, and so on and so forth. But um, you can craft any of those eventually, like if as long as you improve that combat item creator. And so like there's a lot to do within the Abbey, it's as well, because you can explore the grounds of the Abbey, and get more stuff through that. uh but like there is a bit more nuance to it. I think the only slight thing I think I don't like about the when it comes to the deck building is that there's an ability mod that you can unlock in the combat area, where it's like each card can then be given like an extra mod additional to whatever it's doing. So sometimes you can increase the damage, you can increase how much heroism it gives you, and heroism is the point systems uh that allow you to activate certain cards. So some cards like have like a cost to them attached. So in order to use that, you need that heroism built into you need that heroism meter like start accruing. And so attack cards are usually what build heroism, or what's it called, uh not heroic cards. Heroic cards use heroism. I forget. It's like a little like shield, a skill. Some skill cards also accrue heroism. Um, and so some of them will make it so you accrue more heroism. Some of them can get a mod where you can play them for free. So it doesn't even cost you like not heroism specifically, but you only get like 3 actions a turn, 3 card plays a turn. So when they get the free um mod on them, that means you can play them without spending a card play, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Um, so there is so much intricacy to like this game per se, and that's kind of why I like it. Um, but like it's sort of like low low skill floor, but like if you really put yourself to it, like it there's so much you can like creatively do with your decks, with your deck building. Um, and what else? I think yeah. So the one thing about that modding that I don't like is specifically, um, you have to use resources to apply a mod, but the thing is that the way that the mods work is that you're given 3 choices, and so you pick one of those choices, and those 3 choices are always random. So you can so sometimes you're trying to find like a specific mod for this card or just something in general that might help, but the chances of you getting it aren't always on your side. And the more you try to apply a mod on that specific time, so like on that day, if you're just trying to re-go like re-roll those mods, it costs more and more and more credits and more of an essence. So it becomes where it's like if you don't get it like in the first 2 tries, then forget it. Wait till the next day to try again per se. Um, that's I think probably like the only part where I feel like uh kind of is a hit and miss on the deck building. Um, and I think some of like the movements around the map can feel a bit wonky because sometimes you're trying to get on a specific spot, but like the game's like, no, you can't be here, or you're trying to line something up, but it's just wonky enough that like it's like it makes you feel like you might misclick on something, but in general, like this game is really really good.
All right.
But yeah, no. I definitely enjoy my time with Marvel Midnight Suns. I think I still might play through it from time to time because there is a new game plus mode to it. Um, but you can also just after you beat the game, you can just kind of keep going with whatever you're
Okay.
on essentially. But they're they left the ending open to have
Mm.
a sequel because
Mm.
in the end, uh, as you fight with your mom to stop Chthon, it ends up where you're kind of trapped, in Chthon's realm, and kind of die, quote unquote, um, because you're part of Chthon, so you can't really like escape his realm, um, and so the book that Lilith was using gets discovered by Doctor Doom, essentially. So they're trying to play him up
Oh,
as he's like the next villain that you have to fight in whatever sequel that they might
bro,
do,
I'm
essentially.
going to see Doomsday opening
Yeah.
because
So it's
RDJ is Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom.
Dude, the
Um,
moment they were like, we're switching to Doctor Doom because the guy who plays Kang is like a fucking terrible person.
yeah,
And like, I didn't hate his performance as Kang, and I was down for the Kang ride. I think he could get there, but like, I like the pivot because it's just like, nah, Kang don't matter, Doctor Doom no. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? As a fan of comics, yeah, I agree. I
yeah.
agree. I agree that Doctor Doom would be like, no, Kang is nothing. And like, then I was like, yo, who are you gonna get to play fucking Doctor Doom? That's like maybe one of the most quintessential Marvel villains. Sometimes anti-hero, sometimes actually the hero. Ever. It's like one of the most complex characters in all of comics. And I was like, your
Hmm.
casting has to be so good. And they were like, RDJ. And I was like, yeah, get out of town. That's so good. Best thing I've heard about at that so far is when they asked the like they would like they he didn't like outright say it early, but like not too early, but like later on, like well before the marketing started, they were like, "So is this like a Tony Stark variant?" And he goes, "No, I am playing Victor Von Doom. Like that is who I am playing, right? Like it is not a Tony Stark variant, very clearly." And I'm like, "Oh, thank God." Thank God. Like, because that would be so much harder to do. That would be so much harder to make that work. Whereas with him just being Doctor Doom, doing his thing, I'm just like, I'm ready. I'm ready for like, I'm ready for like peak RDJ monologue scene. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready for Doctor Doom to just talk and like break someone through talking. You know what I mean? Like, just like what he says just fucking shatters them inside
Mhm.
to the point where like they can't even like fight him. They're just like, oh god, everything is nothing. Like, you know, like just breaks them, gives them ego death. And I'm just like, I can't wait for this movie. I'm so excited. Doctor Doom is so cool. Doctor Doom's the best. I love Doctor Doom. Midnight Suns, huh?
Yeah, Midnight
Midnight
Suns.
Suns. Midnight
I
Suns
definitely.
also real quick. Midnight Suns, great name for like a like comic saga era, you know what I mean, where there's all those different
Yeah.
like events that happen. Midnight Suns is definitely in the top 5 to me. And just like if you read that and didn't know what it was about, you're like, Midnight Suns. That's kind of cool. What does that mean?
Midnight
Like
Suns.
it's good. It's good. It's got a good like perfect like grab your attention vibe to it. I'm like, Midnight Suns. Yeah. That sounds cool. That sounds metal as fuck. That doesn't make sense when I think about it, but Midnight Suns? What does that mean?
Midnight Suns. Yeah.
The logo's also really good. The font style is great with the coloring as well.
Yeah. No. It's definitely one. If you do like car battlers, you like Marvel. Uh, I definitely would say worth recommending. Like I definitely have gotten my, like I said, I probably will still keep coming back to this game from time to time just to
Oh,
like
okay.
to scratch my card battler itch because there are there were two games that I used to go back to: Grifflands and Across the Obelisk. Grifflands, the fact that they haven't done anything since they had the two characters added, kind of just been like it's only like the only thing you could really do is once you unlock all the cards, you can only really just increase the difficulty of
Mm.
the thing, and
Mm.
so the um the playstyles only really fall into like maybe like
Mm.
three options. And
Okay, I
here,
get you.
because there's different characters, you can kind of mix and match however you want to. And then if you really like a character, that you can always try to put them on, or unless like they get an injury, and it's like, well, you either deal with that or you let them recover. But apart from that, like it's you can always change it up. It's always really fun
Gotcha.
to change
Yeah,
it up.
I get you.
And then with Across the Obelisk, the way they do it is that they have like char- uh they have multiple characters, but they all fall within like a same archetype per se.
Ah.
um and but the way that they play, they try to make them so like they have different passes, and sometimes they have like their own little special card to make them feel like they're very unique. But the problem is they're owned by Paradox. And since they're owned by Paradox,
Mm.
that means they are inundated with DLC. And in order to get the true experience of the game, you need to start buying the DLC. And that's a lot of DLC that you have to go through.
Ah,
So,
yes, yes, yes,
um,
yes.
and the
The Sims
problem is,
experience. This no, not the
yeah,
Sims. Well, the Sims, but also what the fuck is that game called? Sid Meier. Sid Meier's the
Civilization.
the civilization experience.
You were
As in,
close.
no,
You were
no, no,
close.
no. If the game with the game out, don't buy it. Wait until all the DLCs out, then buy it.
Yeah, so because the problem I've seen and people's what's it called in reviews is that a lot of like once the DLCs for that game come out, they become part of like the overall map and like what you like travel through. So if you don't have the DLC, you can't
Mm.
take that route. But because now like they take over like the option, that means you're getting reduced options on how to
Oh, that's
play the game
fucked. I hate
because
that.
it's all being locked out. So now you have to pick like that route that
Yeah.
you might not have
Oh
wanted
wow.
to go
Yeah.
through.
That's bad.
So
That
like yeah,
fucks.
so
Yeah.
that's why
That would
like you
annoy me
have
to
to then
fucking
start
hit.
buying
I'd
the
be pissed as
DLCs.
hell.
Yeah. So many people are kind of mad at that. Like I don't blame them because yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Marvel
That's it.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
Good game, very good game,
Good game. Good game.
good game.
Marvel Midnight Suns. Good
Uh,
game.
And the only other game I was trying to get back into, was Pacific Drive, because also that one I'm at the
Mm.
last thing, but I want to upgrade my car so it's at least better. Because I haven't even upgraded the fucking engine on that car. Like that car is still working on like the jalopy of the engine that it's
Oh yeah,
on.
I remember
Um,
playing the demo for that. It was an interesting game.
So I'm trying my hardest, but like knowing how much that game is like driving around and collecting resources, it's been a little bit difficult. But I will try to finish that up. Once I finish that up, I'm hoping to. I've been trying to save money so I can get 007 First Light coming out
Dude,
this week.
it's this fucking week. There's no way I can get it. There's no way. I want it so bad. I've been wanting the
I
James
I
Bond
I
game.
I gave up on buying Pragmata. I gave up on buying Mouse PI for Hire. My
Dude,
friend wanted me to buy Lego Batman because he wanted to play
dude,
co-op, but I'm giving
I
all that up just so
want to
I saved up
play
for this damn
of,
game.
of the of like two story games that have been announced that I'm fiending for. 007
Hmm.
and Blood of Dawnwalker. I will probably
Yeah,
be able to put down the money to get Blood of Dawnwalker on release. I'm I I'm not happy that I can't play 007 on release. Because I feel
I'm
like
so
it's going to be
sorry.
really hard to avoid spoilers on this one because it's been a minute since a
Yes.
James Bond game. And it's by, like, I fucking love the Hitman games.
Yeah,
Those
IO
are my
Interactive. Yeah.
jam. And I'm like, this is potentially the most me coded James Bond game ever. And I'm just like, I can't buy it. And I really, really want to play it. Like if I had the money right now, I'd be buying it. Like I want to play this game so bad, and it's annoying me that like I don't know when I'm gonna be able to.
No, I completely understand you. Like it sucks.
I don't know if I'm gonna want to talk about it on the podcast if you've played it and I haven't. I might
Yeah,
have
that's
to
fair.
veto
If you
that
want,
until I
if you
play
really
it because
want me to,
I want to.
I will not.
Yeah,
I will
I
not talk
want to
about
play
it.
the fucking game. Like I genuinely really want to play this game, and unfortunately, it's just like I won't be able to put money down for a game until end of next month or early the month after, and at that point I think I want to lock in the um Blood of Dawnwalker and just make sure that I'll have it for launch because that's September and fucking unemployment would pay me my goddamn money. Yeah, because September's like right there. Like we're about to be June, July, August, September. Okay, it's possible. I'll have to see. I'll have to see. I'll have to do run some numbers and shit. It's possible I might be able to pick up the James Bond and still get Blood of Dawnwalker. I think is late September too. I don't
Hmm.
remember when because there's July, August. Actually, yeah, I think if I'm very careful, I can get the James Bond late June, early July, and then if I'm really careful, I can set throughout all of the rest of July, August, and September. I think I can swing both. So that means though I'm gonna fucking miss out on unless unemployment lands or something changes. I'm gonna miss out on fucking Galactic Racer then.
Damn, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
I mean, Galactic Racer is the easier one to like make happen last minute because it's the cheaper of the three. It's
Yeah.
only like 40.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other two are like full on $60, $70 games. So trust me, I want Galactic Racer real bad. I've been waiting for something like that for a long time. We'll see. We'll see. If unemployment lands,
We'll
I'll be able
see.
to get all of it. But like, out of everything that's been announced so far, those are the top three for me. Double O
Hmm.
Seven First Light, Blood of Dawnwalker. Like, if I could only guarantee I was buying three more games this year, it's those right there. Those three right there. Those are the three that I've been like, oh my god, I really don't want to miss out on these. Like, I still really want to play Saros, but it's not priority over those at all. I still want to play Neo 3. It's not priority over those.
Yeah.
So those are the ones I'm wanting to get my hands on the most for sure, out of that kind of stuff. But yeah, there will have to be a veto until I've gotten to play Bond. I don't want to hear about Bond. I don't want to hear about Bond at all.
I will keep
Which
quiet
we
on
haven't.
Bond.
I don't think we've had to do that yet.
No, we
That's how
never
much.
had to do that.
That's how
We never
much
had to
I
do that.
want to play this James Bond game. Spoiler: Stella really likes James Bond. In case people didn't know that, like, best James Bond, Daniel Craig, fight me. You'll lose. You'll lose.
Wait, what was it?
Best
What
James
about?
Bond. It's Daniel Craig.
Oh, oh
Fight
yeah,
me.
yeah. I can
Fight me.
definitely. Okay.
Fight me. You'll lose, internet. You'll lose. You're welcome to try, but you'll lose. It's definitely the Daniel Craig run. That may change in the future, but currently, it's the Daniel Craig run. Like, Skyfall? Are you kidding me? Skyfall? Skyfall? Spectre? Are you kidding me? They're like the best Bond films ever made. Get the fuck out of here. Incredible. Incredible, those films. Spectre is so good.
Incredible. I still hold to my heart. I like Pierce Bronson because that's what I was grew up
I,
with.
I,
But
I
like
fucking
Daniel Craig
hate
movie,
Pierce Brosnan.
but Daniel Craig like movies, like the Bond movies were definitely very like fun. Like they were definitely so good to
They're
like
fun,
watch.
and they are genuinely a cohesive storyline you can follow from start to finish, from
Hmm.
Casino Royale into Quantum of Solace into Skyfall into Spectre into No Time to Die, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, No Time to
Like,
Die.
it feels like the most cohesive Bond run in that, like, one of my big gripes is that, like, I don't love Pierce Brosnan's run. Like, it's okay, but like they're all okay, basically, is how I'm at. There's some that I definitely don't like a lot, but like Daniel Craig was the one run that I'm like, this run is not only the best performance of Bond, I think, the most fun of what these movies are, I think, but also the only like run that feels like a cohesive goddamn storyline that I can follow from start to finish. The
Because they
others,
tried, they made it with that intent. They made it
yes,
with it.
yes,
Because
and I guess
every
what
other Bond, it was just been like a
I like that. I like that because it's the same guy for 5 movies, so it should be cohesive. I don't like if you're gonna do it in a weird like anthology way, then it shouldn't be
yeah.
the same guy every movie. It should be a different guy.
Well, if
Like,
you like that guy, you like that like you can just be like, well, yeah, like he's that guy, you know, like it's
yeah,
more
except
like the
that's the problem. He's not that guy. Only Daniel
yeah.
Craig has been that guy. The others are just like, I'm just the guy who plays Bond on the latest wacky adventure that doesn't make any damn sense, and you can't tell where it fall. It'll be like, does this movie happen before the previous one? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, no, like there's really like no like
The lack of
story cohesion.
cohesiveness makes those runs weaker. Every single one of them to me. Where I'm like, the Daniel Craig run is just like it's start to finish. You follow a character's progression across the movies. You follow a world's progression alongside him throughout the movies, and like the performance. Like it's just a nice story. It's a story, and it's like,
Story.
especially since like Bond as source material for movies is a fucking cohesive story that you can read. They're novels. Like what are we fucking doing? Why did we not
I
make it cohesive before? It's like weird.
I think for me, I'm fine with it not being cohesive because that means you can kind of pick up any movie and kind of like watch it as its own thing, but understand like it follows within a universe of like Bond is a 007 agent that works with MI6. Q is the guy who makes all the contraptions for Bond of all
Sure,
the
but
gadgets,
like if you're
which
gonna do it
they
that
they
way,
definitely
stop using the same actor
de-emphasized
then, because
the gadget
using
stuff on.
using the same actors but not having a cohesive storyline for like 5 years of movies is weird then. Like, it doesn't make any sense that they're the same actors. Like, if you want me to just engage with the universe of Bond as an anthology, you need to design it as an anthology. They didn't do that. They like half committed to it. It was weird. It was like, no, like just like I don't know. It's just like you can't anthology with the same cast. That's not an anthology. That's a set of sequels that has not been given a chronological order. That's not what an anthology is. Like, that's just not what the word is. That's not what the design. Like, it's all wrong. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, those movies need a cohesive order because it's the same goddamn actors in every fucking movie. Like, I should be able to easily watch any Bond's run, all of Pierce Brosnan, all of Sean Connery, and immediately be able to put those movies in order of events. I should not have to fight to figure out the order of events. That's crazy to me. Like, if it's an anthology, you should just embrace that. I would way more like it if we'd just been like, yeah, here's Moonraker, and this guy's Bond now. And then here's a movie that takes place somewhere in this timeline of the universe, but it's a different Bond, because we've established that 007 is just a title. So,
Yeah.
like, Just run with it. Like if you had just embraced full anthology, you could have gotten way more iterations of Bond and took more swings at different styles.
I think the
And it would have
problem.
been
I
better.
think
It infinitely
the
would have been better.
problem. The problem with doing multiple bonds in that like way that you want to is that that means you have to keep like trying to get like a bond. Like you try to have to like get a rotation of
There's
actors that
no
you
shortage of actors that could play Bond. Let's not even. Like, they act like it's the hardest role ever to cast for. It's fucking not, man. It's not that hard to get at. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, especially back then when those Bond movies were being made, you have no shortage of, like, middle-aged, maybe slightly younger, white male actors in Hollywood at any point. Like, let's be honest, like, back then they were only gonna cast some white guys, so, like, all I'm saying is like it's not hard to cast Bond now. I could drop like a couple off the bat, like, but like you know what I mean. Like it's not a role that I don't know. I feel like that's like a stretch. I feel like it's like there's no shortage of people that could have played Bond at any era of acting, at any era. There's no shortage. You just got the guy and kept the guy, which is fine, but it's weird that it's almost impossible with some of their runs to figure out a chronological order. Because, like, the movie's released in an order, but they don't feel like they're telling a story in that order. Which is also fine, but if you're gonna do that, like, there needs to be some way for me as the consumer of the media to, like, okay, oh, I understand how this actually happened before that. I don't know, if you're gonna make me follow the same guy portraying the same character around, it should be cohesive. It's weird to me that it's not easily cohesive. I think that's, like, bad storytelling.
I could take it or leave it on this one. I'm fine with like
Anyway,
one
Daniel
Bond
Craig's
player
still the
playing.
best Bond. It doesn't matter. Still the best Bond. Question is who's gonna be Bond next. But that's not for us
that
to
is a
decide.
yeah. That's just gonna be up to I believe Amazon because now Amazon owns the rights
Yeah,
to.
it's gonna be up to him. It's not alright. Anyway, moving away from that horrible truth. Do you have more stuff to talk about, or is it my turn now? We're
I
almost
believe
two
it's your
hours
turn
in, by
because
the
I
way.
yeah I think the only thing I've done is play more Nightmare Reaper, um, and oh I guess I played more Void Train. That one is a game where if I'm gonna say anything about it is that it's one of the weaker survival
Ooh,
crafting survival games I've played. It just
damn.
well it conceptually it sounded like it would have been like a very cool thing, but um how we my friend and I have been playing it, like it kind of incentivizes you play the game slowly, because you're trying to pick up a lot of the resources, but by doing so, you end up unlocking pretty much everything and having everything before the
Gotcha.
story
Okay,
itself ramps up.
I got you.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I think concept wise is interesting, but in execution, not the very good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
And that's it.
All right, so it's my turn. Hi, it's me, Stella. I'm now gonna talk about the stuff I've been playing, and I've pretty much, I'm gonna talk briefly
Yeah.
about Forspoken because I have gotten further. I think I'm close to closing out the like third, three out of fourth part of the game. I'm not quite sure how close I am to the end, but I'm definitely, if I'm not in the last act, I'm close to starting that last treg of the journey. I'm about to fight the last, the third like boss of the game. The game has continued to like do what it does, be a Devil May Cry that's really fun, bounces between campy like dialogue and oh shit, now we're here for serious feels. About as
Mhm.
good as any Devil May Cry does, in my opinion, which if you've played all of them, you'll know is about 50-50. Game's got some serious tier, like it tries to do some serious feels moments, but then it'll snap right back to Dante like fucking dancing around with a cowboy hat and a laser scarf because that's funny and that's cool. Like that's the game. So combat continues to just open up more and more and be really really cool. I now have Freya's like Earth Vine magic, Earth Vine magic. I have Tanta, the first Tanta, I forget her name, Scylla, I think maybe. I have her fire like super offensive, very Virgil style of fighting, like literally punchy gauntlets, summon swords, and summoning dudes to
Oh
fight
yeah,
me,
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
igniting the world on fire with like a weird opera pose that's incredible. It's great. I now also have bubble. I have water magic, which is so cool. It's like water and ice. You're just like locking people in bubbles, summoning mist that conceals you, buffing your critical chance, switching to your fire magic and doing extra crit damage with the fire DPS, switching to the earth stuff to start healing yourself up and building resource back up, switching back to the water to like just surf on lakes and like throw people in bubbles and trap them and let them drown. It's great. It's great. This game's combat is really good, and the more I play this game, the more I am devastated that this game got its one DLC and then the studio was shut down. Because I'm like, holy shit, this game's fun as hell. If you like Devil May Cry, you're going to like Forspoken. Straight up. If any Devil May Cry, like if you play Devil May Cry 4 or 5 and you have a good time, even with its campy story and somewhat serious story, and the gameplay is fun, and you just like that, and it's a good time all around, you will like Forspoken. Go buy it and play. It is absolutely just a Devil May Cry. It is absolutely more of a Devil May Cry than Bayonetta will ever be, ever. Bayonetta at its best is nowhere near as good as this game. Bayonetta wishes it could be Forspoken. Bayonetta got 3 fucking games and it never got as good as Forspoken got in 1 game.
Damn.
Like, way more interesting combat than Bayonetta. Like Forspoken achieves what Bayonetta like doesn't, in that it is clearly a Devil May Cry, but is its own thing. Whereas Bayonetta for me was like, okay, it's clearly Devil May Cry, but like you haven't really been able to establish a good identity of what Bayonetta is. Other than that, you wanted to make Devil May Cry, but you can't. It's just like, and then don't even get me started that every Bayonetta game like completely changes everything, and then 3 is terrible and everyone hates it, and there's no more Bayonetta forever, whatever. Anyway, Forspoken's really good. I'm looking forward to finishing it and starting the DLC and removing it from my console because it is like a 98 gig file. Right, so like, don't get me wrong, the
Yeah,
game's
Jesus.
amazing, but like, I'm looking forward to finishing it and seeing how the end plays out and doing the DLC because there's new powers in the DLC, and I really do enjoy this game's combat quite a lot. And it is a shame to see a studio really make a really fun like style action style fighter, spectacle fighter, whatever you want to call it. Um,
Hmm.
and not get to do anymore. I genuinely think as a first game, and if the DLC is even like half as good as this, it's a shame this studio got shut down. This is a damn good first entry for this type of genre. Like the assignment was Devil May Cry, right? But your own thing. But like that is what you're chasing when you're making a French. When you are making like an action game that has a style meter and is not as like serious and somber and as emotionally driven as God of War, right? Or like
Hmm.
Horizon or whatever, right? That stuff where it's like, yeah, there could be jokes and stuff, but this is a way more serious, really emotional journey you're gonna go on. Devil May Cry is not that. Devil May Cry is serious for like a third of the game, and the rest of the game is haha funny Devil May Cry pizza man shoot gun. Right? Like, and that's the fucking game, and it's great because it embraces that with really good gameplay that's satisfying to do and cool ass combos and crazy dumb shit, right? It's a fucking video game ass video game. This game is that, understands that assignment, crushes it, and it's a shame that this studio got shut down because I'm like, this is really like really good, like genuinely really good. Genuinely, if you have played Devil May Cry 5 and you enjoy playing that game and playing as all the different characters and their different move styles and how they play, and you just really like that, Forspoken is good. It's the story's gonna hit maybe not as good as Devil May Cry because you don't have any like attachment to the franchise because there isn't one, but it's gonna hit at least I think as good as any Devil May Cry story ever hit in terms of like how good is the story. It's as good as it needs to be for this type of game. The core of
Hmm.
this game is the gameplay, the combat, and getting into fights and doing all that shit, and the insanity of that, and like how much can you get your style meter up? How much can you mix and match your combos and hot swap between different spell schools of magic to like fight this out? And it is very compelling in that regard.
Yeah.
So really like it. Can't wait to say more when I finish it. But the majority of my month has been tied up between two games, and that is Diablo 4, which just had Lord of Hatred come out recently, the most recent expansion, and Marathon, which is about to wrap up its first season. So I'm going to start with Diablo 4. Alright, so Diablo 4, first of all, on console, I'm only ever playing Diablos on console now. It's just so much better. It's just infinitely better. It's way better on your wrists. It plays like a dream on console. Like, it runs better. It looks better. It sounds better. And also, it's actually really easy to play this type of game with a controller. I adapted to it staggeringly quickly. I ended up getting to, like, I have 2 characters at Torment 7 already, and I haven't gotten past Torment 3 in PC when I could play. Lord of Hatred is a fucking incredible campaign. I think it's some of Blizzard's best work. Straight up. Like, I think in terms of the story of this game, where it went, what themes it tackled, and the way it called back to previous previous Diablo in the franchise. Like, there are tiebacks to 2, there are tiebacks to 1, there are tiebacks to 3. There are things that have now come full circle that feel like this wrapped up, unwrapped up stuff from 2 and 3. Where it's like, okay, no, we are done with this. We are moving on from it. This is the wrap up. Skovos, getting to go to Skovos, the land where Lilith and Inarius created humanity, right? Super cool to finally go there and get some really deep lore about, like, the nature of humanity and the world around it. We have the 2 new classes, Paladin and Warlock, are incredible. Paladin's, like, actually pretty offensively oriented, but still very defensive and really cool. I did through the campaign as Warlock. I love Warlock. I think it's one of the best classes they've ever made in a game. And you can feel, like, Warlock just feels mean, what you're doing. Like, it feels like you are, like, it feels personal when you're playing Warlock and killing things. Like, there's something about the way Warlock plays where it's just, like, there's a level of, like, personal... The Warlock takes personal satisfaction in a way that the other spellcasters don't in what they're doing. Like, in a petty way. In a way that's like, no, fuck you. And you feel that because if you watch the design documentaries they have on YouTube or whatever about, like, designing the Warlock, one of the core concepts of designing the Warlock was it needs to feel like the core pillars of designing it when they were fleshing out the concept of it. One of them literally is the Warlock would absolutely win a fist fight against the other spellcasters at the same time. Like, so if Warlock, Sorcerer, and Necromancer all started fighting each other, fist fighting, the Warlock wins against both of them at the same time within seconds. It's not even close. The Warlock is a spellslinger that is, like getting into fucking gang fights in the streets of New York in 1953.
My fucking god.
like the Warlock is here to get blood and dirt on themselves. Like, the Warlock is just fucking fist fighting people in the streets. It's like incredible. It feels so good.
Motherfucker.
What? What do you mean?
Got love and hate tattooed on, like, their fists, like, just like
hold fast. It says, like, hold fast on their fists, and they're just like fucking just gangs of New York, a history of violence, like all those era of movies. The Warlock is just in the back, like the fucking Peaky Blinders, like, all right, motherfucker. Like, constantly, like, wiping blood off their nose because they're just fist fighting other spell practitioners and demons with magic. Let me make this clear. With magic.
Yeah, with magic,
but, like,
not just...
but still just slugging it out with magic. Like, feels very, like, street magic. Or, like, I don't know, it feels like you're, like, a thug. It feels like you're a fucking, grew up on the streets, rough kid who's just, like, hasn't been killed yet and has risen to prominence in a local gang, is, like, an enforcer of quite high caliber who could be, like, head of a gang if they were, like, somebody of real merit and name and integrity, but they can't be, but they are just, like, they are as close as they can get to that, and they've gotten there by sheer gumption and moxie. They are just, like, it is so good. It is my favorite spellcaster. Like, my build literally is using the Hex, like, basic attack, where you're literally just like fist punching people and hexing them while you do it, and it adds like debilitating effects to them, and like it just looks like you're punching the fuck out of them with magic sigils. It's so good. Gang fights in the streets. 53. Yeah, the Warlock is great. I love the Warlock. Super fun. There's fishing now in the game. There's a whole couple fishing side quests. There's some secret ones. The fishing guy you interact with is 100% the trickster god that introduced like super weird gems into Diablo 3's like 10th season or something. 100% the same guy. 100% the same guy. It's like all but confirmed. It's the same fucking guy, same fucking voice actor. It's the trickster god who makes like super gems for you to slot in. So calling it now, there's gonna be like crazy gems later. The new Heraldric Seal system and these 6 charm slots it can have is the Diablo 3 like set armor system without limiting your armor. So you basically build sets through the charm and the seal and still get to do all your armor stuff you wanted to do. So you get to have like a set bonus on top of whatever else you've already built without having to, if you want the set bonus, you just have to wear that armor set. Which is nice. Heraldric Cube is back. You have a lot more control over what you're doing with your gear and stuff, which feels really good. There's a lot of secrets. The cow level has been found now after you can finally access the cow level, but it has only gotten you to the king cow or whatever, and there's more stuff there that ties into like a god cow enemy later, so we'll see where that goes. The story of this game was fascinating. Really showcases you like the fragility of humanity in this, but also the strength of it in a really interesting way. You really get to watch like you see both the best and the worst of humanity, more so than I think you've ever gotten to experience in like fullness in this franchise. Set wise and sound design, everything incredible. Like, and story beats like Tyrael has returned, and you kind of close the loop on the Haradrim in a way that feels final. In that, like, when you start Diablo 4, the Haradrim is down to, like, the 2 old dudes that are left. These 2, like, old, bitter-ass fucking men. One who's afraid of everything, and one who's just bitter and jaded about everything and has no faith in anything anymore. And then Neyrelle, the little girl that joins you on the journey, kinda is, like, becoming the next Haradrim. Neyrelle goes through fucking hell in Diablo 4's campaign and the first expansion, Vessel of Hatred. One of those old dudes dies in the base campaign. Neyrelle dies at the start of this expansion, in the opening cutscene. Done. Gone. Girl gone. It's just you and Lorath now. That's it. That's the squad. I think if you recall me talking about Diablo 4 way back original, one of the more interesting notes of Diablo 4's base campaign is, unlike all the other Diablo campaigns, you're not like a band of heroes. You're like, it's just you, really, and tired old men and a child, right? Like, this is not a band of heroes. This does not feel like a group of people that can save the world by comparison of the previous games, like Squad, as it were, right? Like,
would you say Diablo 3 was sort of similar, where like you were just
no, Diablo 3, like, your companions are like badasses. Like, one's like a Viserai mage that got like frozen in time and is now here, right? Badasses. The other dude's like just a thief dude, but he's like really good in shit. It's quite different. It doesn't quite hit like that. I think. Oh, okay. I see you. You're good. I'll pause this for a second. We'll be back in a little bit. So like Diablo 3, I guess you could make that argument, but I feel like it doesn't hit like that. I feel like Diablo 3 still feels like a band of heroes by the end of it. Like, to the point, the final mission of Diablo 3's campaign, when you're running to, like, fight Diablo in heaven, all of the companions are with you, and normally you can only bring one with you at a time, and then the game, like, they get trapped and it's all up to you. But, like, I don't know, it just, like, it doesn't hit with the same sense of, like, there is a level of hopelessness in Diablo 4 from start to finish of like, oh, like this is the best we've got now. Is two tired old men and a child and you. And it almost feels like you're not supposed to be there in some ways. In that like you're just a fluke, and if it wasn't for the fluke that it's lucky that you're here at all, that the world is completely fucked. Like it is all on you, but it doesn't feel like divine prophecy that this, you are the savior. It feels like pure dumb luck that you're there at all and involved in these things at all. And it really is in the sense of how it starts. But so Lord of Hatred, like fucking out the gate, like by the end of like Diablo 4, one old guy's dead. The other guy's like, okay, things are gonna get worse before they get better. We don't even know where Narelle took the Soul Stone or why she took it and didn't tell us she was taking it. And then you follow up with Narelle in Vessel of Hatred, and she is like just being actively tortured psychically in her mind by Mephisto for like 2 years straight, as she's journeying through trying to find a way to like seal the Soul Stone in a way where he can't come back. He ends up in the body of the long deceased Saint Akarat, who we got like a huge amount of lore about, like who Akarat really was, what the Zakarum faith really realized, and that it wasn't like a Christian dogmatic thing. It was way more Buddha Zen, and just got twisted over time because Akarat's followers, his inner circle, as it were, who were more just his really good friends, like couldn't handle the dude's death. And they all coped in different ways that ended up twisting what his teachings were into a completely different thing because they just couldn't like handle his death. And so the Lord of Hatred has you trying to deal with Mephisto now in Akarat's body, and there's a prophecy going on, and the sun is being eclipsed, and an eclipse in the world of like Diablo has always run in bad omens. The history of eclipses in Scovos have always tied with like literally some of the worst events in human history, including the Sin War and the Purge. Like, so, but this game just like out the gate, like Mephisto as Akarat just fucking snaps Narelle's neck.
Damn. Just like that.
Dead. It's just you and Lorath. And you also, keep in mind, you have not seen Lorath since Diablo 4's campaign ended. He is not in Vessel of Hatred at all. And Lorath, by the end of this, gets done the dirtiest. Lorath, like, he made a pact with the Tree of Whispers, which is, like, an entity that is, like, different than the angels and demons, older, more cosmic, almost. Unclear what it really is and how it works. And when you make a pact with the tree will give you, like, knowledge or whatever you're looking for. In return, that when you die, you will be a head on the tree. You will be one of those heads tied to the tree, hanging from it, tied here to immortality. In suffering in a way. Like, that is the trade-off. You will serve the Tree of Whispers in the end. In death. You will serve indefinitely. And that is the fate that has been awaiting Lorath since Diablo 4's campaign. It doesn't end like that. He gets his head cut off by... Well, he gets put on the tree, but he doesn't die from the tree collecting them. He dies because a former, like, lover of his, who is now queen of the Amazons in Scovos, who ends up being completely taken in by Mephisto as Akarat because she's so afraid of things and what's happening to her people, that she ends up at odd ends with you and Lorath and Tyrael, and Lorath trying to just convince her that, no, like, you're being played, but there's a moment, the opening moment where they meet again for the first time in, like, 40 years, Mephisto ends up causing Lorath to kill her, and then Mephisto as Akarat brings her back, and so she hates him even more now, and she kills him. Like, she just fucking butchers him and tosses his head to the ground. It's sad and not a good end for the dude. And then his head gets collected by the crows and put on the tree. You kill her, and then, like, before that, you're hanging out with Tyrael, going through, like, and Lorath going through the first Haragic Vault, and, like, learning really, like, actually learning who the first Haradrim were, like, as people, as men. Not, like, their titles and stuff, but, like, who they were as people, right? So Zoltan Kuhl, Tal Rasha, the first, I think it's Jared Kane, the first Jared Kane guy, and someone else, and all that shit. And it is, like, closing the loop on Tyrael's legacy of the Haradrim. Because Tyrion's mortal, has been since Diablo 3. He's aging, he's getting older, feeling weaker as he gets older as a mortal. And you kind of just fully close the book on Haradrim in a way that's never felt so final. Because, like, Tyrion's people are gone. Donan dies in Diablo 4's base game. Lorath dies in this one. Neyrelle dies in this one. And there are no more Haradrim. There's just Tyrael now. And he is a mortal person, probably, you know, heading towards the end of his lifespan, because as an angel turned mortal, he's gonna live a bit longer than men probably will. But, like, his time is no longer, like, infinite. It's clearly finite. And it feels like the Haradrim are done as, like, a thing, which is, like, super compelling and interesting to me. Oh, fuck, you're muted, which means you had to pause. No, I didn't see that. Pausing again. So I was just saying that, like, it really feels like the I'll rehash it a bit, because I talked before I realized you muted. Like, so, Donan dies in Diablo 4. That's one of the 2 remaining Haradrim. In this one, Lorath and Neyrelle both bite the dust. And you actually hang out with Tyrael and Lorath and go through the first Haradrim Vault ever, with, like, made by the first fucking 4 Haradrim. Like, Zoltan Cole, Tal Rasha, Jared Kane, and I forget the other fucking guy. But, like, the original people. And they're long gone. And you get to learn about them as, like, people behind, like, the legend of them. You're learning about them as Tyrael knew them. As just the bravest men of their time, right? Like, flawed, but, like, good, like, flawed, immensely flawed, all of them. But, like, it's interesting, because it's like, the Haradrim are no more. There is no more Haradrim left. There is no one left to inherit this legacy. There is no one left to carry on this order that is permitted since the dawn of Diablo franchise, right? Like, because Tyrael is mortal. He's been mortal since Diablo 3. But he's old now. And while as an angel turned mortal, he's probably going to live pretty long for a human, but, like, part of Tyrael, part of the story, is why he's been away so long. Why, like, at the start of Diablo 4, like, Lorath informs you, no one has seen Tyrael in, like, 70 years. Because Tyrael was scared. Because he knows that, like, he's feeling the age in a way he wasn't ever before as a mortal, where he's old enough now, even as an angel turned mortal, which obviously makes him stronger than most mortals, but he's, like, clearly, like, understanding the reality of mortality, in that, like, oh, my time is, like, coming to its end. Which, with the Haradrim gone, there's no Haradrim. There's no one left to inherit this legacy, and Tyrael likely doesn't have the lifespan left to, like, reform them again. He's already reformed them twice. Like, it's over. It really feels final. And then, what you do in the end game of this game, what we have achieved as the players in Diablo, as the Wanderer, as it were, is staggering in its consequences for the universe at whole. Like, in a way that, like, what we have done is going to, like, some of the best setup I think I've ever seen for this franchise, in that we have not only, like primevals, demons are immortal. They cannot be killed. They will just reform in hell. This is the thing. Angels can be killed. They will not reform in heaven. And earlier in Diablo 4's base game, we learned that at one point, all the primevals were one thing. They were one entity that was cut down by the angels, and that gave birth to the 7 primevals. And there's this whole thing with, like, the Tree of Whispers and the giant serpent that, like, gave Rathma's visions, that, like, combining Rathma's visions with the serpent's innate visions created the prophecy, Rathma's prophecy, which, by the way, we have never actually heard in full until this expansion right now, even though that prophecy has existed in, like, every game. We got the full version, maybe, this time, because Skovos is where Rathma was born and lived. So, like, we learn about, like, parts of this prophecy that we've never heard before that really change a lot of things. We learn about, like, the past a lot in this expansion. We learn about, like, like, there was a period of peace on Sanctuary where angels, demons, and people worked together, lived together, and were happy. That sounds crazy in this franchise, but it's real. Confirmed. Like, there is a history that has been lost to us. There is a cool line in one of these moments in a side. A lot of the side quests, by the way, in this expansion have been some of the best fucking lore in the franchise, even with how good the main questing was in this expansion. There are some side quests I've done that like blew me away, and it was like a 30-minute side quest in a dungeon, and I was like, holy fuck, that's like game-changing lore. Um, there's a line that someone throws out that like really hits where it's like, we've been fighting a civil war so goddamn long, we've forgotten we're all brothers and sisters. And it's like,
Damn.
ooh, that's good. I like that. So at the end of Diablo 4's base campaign, you beat Lilith and put Mephisto in the Soul Stone, but Lilith isn't dead. She lives on through you. She's a demon. She will just probably reform in hell at some point anyway. At
Mhm.
Vessel of Hatred, you're trying to prevent Mephisto from fully taking over Nyrel, but also figure out this Soul Stone can't hold him. We know this from all the previous Diablo games and expansions. The Soul Stone is it is a stopgap measure for a problem that it's never really helped us. It buys us time. Um, Eventually, we think sealing using Akarat's blessed body will allow blessed like tomb to hold the Soul Stone indefinitely. We learn that that's not the case. Now Mephisto walks the world as Akarat reborn. Diablo 4's Lord of Hatred expansion is tasking us with stopping Mephisto, a primeval at his full power at this point. Like, never have we faced a threat like this. It's scary. Like, this is like world-ending shit. He was very close to like fucking with the pools of creation and like changing the nature of humanity itself. And this all accumulates with us ending with doing something we have never achieved as players. No one has achieved in all of Diablo's history as a franchise. Not in-game, not in any side story comic thing or novelization, which there are some. Nothing like this has been achieved. For the first time in this franchise's existence, a primeval has not been killed and, you know, they're going to be reborn in hell in 100 years. Or, oh, we put him in a really good soul stone, so we've got 100 years. No. A primeval has been banished from fucking existence and put in the void, which is something we really haven't learned a lot about until recently. Lilith, it's unclear where Lilith is now. Lilith might be gone as well. She was only really existing because of the blood that you got fed. That was her, like, blood petal that, like, she was inside you, essentially, as, like, a physical, like, a metaphysical manifestation. It's unclear whether she could, like, reform later in hell while she's still attached to you. To save you from Mephisto, because her and Mephisto are intimately linked, because Mephisto made her. She has no mother. Mephisto, like, made her the way Sauron made the One Ring, kind of. So they are too linked for them to be separated. So because she was, like, linked to you, Mephisto was getting at you at the end, and she protects you. She, like, sacrifices herself and tells you to, like, sever the bond so that Mephisto can't get at you, and her last words are you to claim your goddamn birthright. And it really, like, portrays that Lilith is not a villain. Ever. She never was. Sure, she's, like, violent, volatile, a little untrustworthy, like, they're, like, but, like, at the end of the day, Lilith...
Just like the Lilith from Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Yes! That's why it's so funny. Like, Lilith just loves her children, and she gave everything for them. And
yeah,
she's just
literally
mad
what
that
happens
her
in
children...
this too. Yeah.
She's just mad that her children squandered their gift, their birthright. That, no, the whole point of creating humanity was so that you wouldn't bow to this endless conflict of angels versus demons. That you would break free, and you never did. And it makes her mad. And so she's like... It's such a beautiful send-off to the character. And you use a dagger she made out of her bone that she gifted to Rathma that Rathma didn't use and sealed away. And you end up sending a primeval to the void, which is where Lilith was banished to, by the way, twice. The only, like, you can't come out of the void unless someone brings you out. No one can get out themselves. That's what the void is. Like, doesn't matter how powerful you are. It doesn't matter. You cannot leave this place of your own accord. Someone has to open the way for you and want you to come out. That's how Lilith got back both times. Someone did a ritual But also, we've learned that the ritual Elias used to get Lilith out of the void only works for Lilith. That ritual does nothing for anyone else. We've also now learned that the cult that used to be called Mother's Chosen is now called the Midwives, and they have been taking Elias's ritual and changing it to try to reach something else in the void. Because a throne has been left vacant. A primeval is no more. Yes, Mephisto could be brought back the same way Lilith was brought back from the void, but first of all, you would have to have a ritual designed only to get Mephisto back, and you would have to have people who want Mephisto back. Both of those near impossible to achieve at this point. The Midwives are not trying to bring Mephisto back. They are trying to bring back someone known as the Unmade. And this person is known as Lucian and is the lost son of Mephisto, who has only been mentioned in lore twice prior. That person, their ritual is complete. There is now a child imbued with demon power that a character from season 7 or something comes back in side quests in the post after you beat the campaign of Lord of Hatred. You end up doing some side quests that tie into stuff from season 7 side quests, seasonal quests, that end up with a child that is very much likely carrying the essence of Lucian, the Unmade, the lost son of Hatred, who we don't know why he was unmade. We have no knowledge of who this person is, what they were like. We barely knew they existed. And now this person is potentially back. But on top of that, there are multiple items in the game dropping hints and side quests that Diablo is next. But there are also multiple side quests and items in the game whose descriptions are dropping that no, Baal is next, then Diablo. So we've got multiple side quests and items saying it's Diablo, then Baal. Oh no, it's Baal, then Diablo. And then we've got the whole, okay, what is this Unmade thing doing? What is this cosmic horror being introduced? Also, at the end of the campaign, not only did we seal a primeval into the void, which has never been done before, Lilith might be permanently dead. It's unclear what the rules are here, which would be still a major player permanently gone. On top of that, we burnt the Tree of Whispers to the fucking ground. With Tyrael's last bit of angelic power. We burnt it to the ground. That is 2 confirmed, godlike entities removed from the world by our hand. The Tree of Whispers and Mephisto. Arguably the most cunning of all the primevals. Lilith, also potentially gone. Angels have been outright killed in the last, 2 games. Tyrael has no more angelic power left, which stayed with him for a bit as immortal. He used the last of it here. We are done. He is now just an old guy with knowledge. Right? We have expended resources that cannot be expended again to achieve the impossible. The giant serpent thing, which is unclear what the fuck that is, in the terms of, angels and demons are godlike entities to humanity. What is the serpent then? The serpent predates everything, apparently. The serpent was protecting the tree, vacated the tree, was just not there when we went to go burn it. Did not care. The serpent no longer felt unclear why the serpent is just cool with us burning the tree. It's protected for millennia, all of time, before creation started. Unclear. What we've done is so staggering in its effects that wherever
They
Diablo
know
is
something
going,
that you don't. Maybe they just know something. And it's you know what?
wherever Diablo is going as a franchise, we are not prepared. What we have just done is staggering. It's the effects of what has been done. The Tree of Whispers, an entity that seems almost beyond time and creation itself, that is older than the conflict of angels and demons, which has been going on forever as far as we know. Gone. Mephisto, banished to the void. An unmade firstborn child of Mephisto that unclear if Lucian was born or made in the way Lilith was made, but now pulled out of the void probably seeking to be the new Lord of Hatred, because he was known as the Prince of Hatred. Interestingly to note, Lilith is never referred to as the Princess of Hatred. Always referred to as the Daughter of Hatred or the Mother of Sanctuary. Does not get the title Princess put on her, even though Lucian, the Unmade, who we didn't really know about at all until recently, is known as the Prince of Hatred. The Lost Prince of Hatred. Interesting distinction to be made there. So we have godlike entities removed. We have ancient primordial entities removed. We have, if you want to go demigod for like Lilith and Anarius, removed. Haradrim, done. There are no more Haradrim. They are gone. The founding member of the Haradrim is an old man, formerly an angel, who has now lost all his angelic power and is very clearly, probably in the last couple decades of his life, unlikely to reform the Haradrim at this point. Now, this expansion, you have your main world, then you have Nahantu out to the south when Vessel of Hatred came out. With Lord of Hatred, we have the Isles of Skovos. However, on the map, now to the west is a massive continent being shown to us, which we know is where, like, Westmarch is and stuff, but it is the part of Westmarch that we've never explored in-game anywhere. That is where we are likely going next. I have no idea where this game is going. This season doesn't really have a theme to follow or stories it's telling because so much is being told with the expansion itself, which means the next season's going to start building towards the next thing. And I know they said, like, Diablo 4 is meant to be a live service game that goes on for way longer than Diablo 3 did. And Diablo 3, without being a live service game, got 2 expansions and, like, 25 seasons, and some of those seasons were really compelling stories. So this one's doing way more, way quicker. I have no idea what kind of expansion comes after this, but based off how I love Diablo 4, I think it was a very good initial start to this game. I liked Vessel of Hatred. I understand the criticism, but I understood that Vessel of Hatred was not the end of the saga. With Lord of Hatred, we are now at the end of the era, the Age of Hatred, which is Diablo 4, all the seasons after, Vessel of Hatred, all the seasons after, and now Lord of Hatred. And this first season marked the end of the Age of Hatred. But, as per many items in the game, hatred makes the cut. Fear holds open the wound, and then destruction comes at last when we are weakest, so patient and assured of their victory. And that's just one item. There is so much here to pick apart. We are still discovering secrets. The community is like, this is Diablo Blizzard at its best. It's been, I think, fucking ever a masterclass in expansion and tying up a saga of a game and setting up stuff of like, damn, where the fuck are we going next? And I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get there. When I get back to streaming, I am going to be streaming a lot of Diablo in the future. It's real nice on console. I fucking love this game. I love this game so much. I love this world. I love this franchise. I love this type of game. And nothing hits like Diablo. And it's really good to see that, like, my faith in the game pay off. And, like, god damn, Blizzard, this was a masterfully made campaign. This was really fucking good. And that has been Diablo 4. And now we come to Stella's favorite FPS of all time, Marathon. There, I said it. Oh, you've muted. Alright, I will pause. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with Diablo 4. Just, like, very impressed with this expansion. Really excited for whatever comes next. No idea where we're going. I feel like we've set up a lot and closed a lot of long-standing threads, and the game continues to be fucking fantastic to play all the time. It's good. It's a good-ass game. And with that, now, it's time to, because I think I said this right as you had to mute, so I don't know if you heard it. It's time to talk about Stella's favorite FPS of all time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hi, I really like Marathon, so I hope you guys are ready to hear about Marathon.
Yeah. More Marathon.
In the news, we will talk about the Destiny stuff. As a lover of Destiny off and on, there I have a lot to say about that, and probably I feel like people could be like, well, you didn't really love the franchise, then. It's like that thing needed to end. That thing needed to end. I don't know why you think this can go on forever. And then like they're mad
City
there's not a
2 had
Destiny.
a actual point that it should have stopped, but it tried to keep going.
Yes,
Like
yes, it did.
that's just
And
yeah.
then so anyway, marathon. I am almost 200 hours in one season, which is a lot for me in a season. I haven't played a season like this since Black Ops 3, straight up. Like, this is how it's hitting. I hit level 100, which is like technically where levels stop mattering in the sense that like nothing's really locked to you level wise, but like at milestones you get like rewards and you do get a title and a special icon for hitting level 100 in a season, and then the anything after that is way longer. That's like essentially consider it you hit prestige even though there's not a prestige. Um I've got a Vandal mastery now. I've done every challenge for her. Um, I'm close. I have a Rook mastery. I'm one challenge away from a Recon mastery and two away from an Assassin mastery. I do solos. I do fills. This fucking game is incredible. This game is so goddamn good. I have not enjoyed an FPS this much in I keep saying Black Ops 3. Like, I genuinely have not had this much fun with an FPS since Black Ops 3. Like, every time I'm playing Marathon, I'm having a good time. Even sessions where I've lost for like 3, 4, 6 hours in a row, I am still mostly having a good time most of the goddamn time. Like, there's so much here to work with. There's so much, like, nuance in the builds as you get more gear and you start to realize how far you can really tweak things with what's here already. And there's quite a lot, and knowing that more is coming, and the way that Bungie has been very transparent and vocal about like changes and experiments with stuff has been like incredible. Like some of their best like work of like having a good rapport with their community. In fact, I'm gonna go as far as to say is the way they've been interacting with the marathon community is the best Bungie's ever looked. Straight up. Like, straight up. If Destiny had had this kind of rapport from the start, Destiny would have been 7 times better than it already was. Like, it might be born of the failures of Destiny and the bullshit of the C-suite of Bungie at that time, and now Bungie is a much smaller studio and will be only doing the one game, which I think makes sense. I just like the map design, the sound design, the gunplay feel, the way no two fights almost ever feel the same ever. The watching the meta shift, but also like aggressive balancing changes being made, nerfs and buff when they need to from the dev team. A lot of quality of life changes have happened already. Like they increased the vault size a good chunk. They increased how things stack in the vault so it eats up less space. Then they grenades were becoming a problem, so they made it so you're not able to stack grenades as much in your inventory. You can still bring a ton, but they eat up more space now if you want to do that. They have made commitments to things higher, but in runs, but made commitments to things out of runs less. The grind for XP has already been made better, and they're doing more to that next season, which starts June 2nd. There's been a lot of communication about, like, okay, they've changed some UI stuff, icon wise, and stuff to make, like, managing your inventory and your vault and figuring out where things go easier. They've worked a lot on the onboarding already to make it better, and they're saying there's more work to be done there. There is like throughout this season we have had updates that are balancing changes that definitely were good for the economy of the game, regardless of what you thought about them as a player. Right? Like good for the economy of the game, good for the game, and the sake of it being as fair and brutal as it can be. And then they've done a lot of passes for quality of life changes and things like that. They've been very aggressive on cheating, which has been godlike to see. Storytelling has been great. We've really gotten some cool lore already. And the end of the season is super fun. I'm having fun running. Like, I've got gold stuff. I've got purple stuff, dude. Like, I've run solos. I've run Phil. They did for several weeks they were doing experimental queues, duo queues only for one map at a
Hmm.
time, and they've announced that starting in season 2, duo queues will be permanent. It will be one map at a time. We'll have a duo queue and it'll rotate like weekly. That's something that was shaped by community asking for duo queues and then being like, okay, well, we didn't quite design it for this, so we're gonna enable temporary duo queues for one map at a time and get feedback from you guys and figure out how we want to implement this in the game in a more permanent way. So now that's already coming in season 2. We're getting it. Duo queues. Like, and I'm totally fine with it being like a week, each week is on a different map in the way that ranked is on a different map each week, right? And cryo is only up every like weekend, like shit. I like these temporary moments you can build to and run the other stuff. They've already added a handful of new enemy types and new events that happen on the world. They changed how key templates work, so they're no longer fragile, which means that if you went down, even just downed and bleeding out, the key template would break. They changed it to compromise, so now all you have to do is kill a commander, get a mana fixative, an exfil, and it'll turn the key into a key. Right? They've they've made like the loot gear chase hungrier but fairer overall across this season. They've incentivized you to take the risk more, but made the loss if you took the risk and lose hurt less in the long run. Um, Sponsored kits went from gray to green, so you're starting better with sponsored kits if you're running some free kits. They've done passes to Rook to make playing Rook more viable. They have nerfed and buffed things that needed to, like, every change they've made has not felt like bad for the health of the game. Like, when the nerfs happen, of course, the people that were abusing the thing are mad as fuck all the time. They always are. But, like, when there was a shotgun that was basically, like, dropping people instantly at close range, like, even when they had purple shields or blue shields, which is crazy. It shouldn't do that. It shouldn't just instant win you a fight. That's horseshit. It doesn't now. If you're green or gray shields, it does. It'll drop you immediately. But if you're blue or higher, it'll pop the shields. But now that person has to reload, which means if they choose the wrong moment to reload or switch weapons, you can come out of this fight on top, even though they instant broke your shields. It's making they've done a really good job. I think like where this game is at now, at the as we approach the end of the season, is infinitely better than it was at the start of the season. Like a staggering amount of quality of life and balancing changes that have been good for the health of the game overall. And there's more of that coming. So season 2 starts in June 2nd. What we know is coming is nighttime dire marsh. Flashlights on guns are a thing. We don't know if they're on every gun or they are an attachment that you have to choose to take. A new class, Sentinel. We only know they're a defensive class. They're actually the screenshot they shared is my desktop screen, and I always keep pointing out that Sentinel was in the front of this squad as the more defensive class. So what does that mean? Maybe it's an offensive defense. Who knows? We don't know yet. New enemy types, new priority quest lines and stuff, and it's like, okay, what resets? Your whole vault, reset it. All your gear, reset it. Your faction rep, reset, but you don't have to do the unlock the quest faction quest. Everything, if you unlocked access to all the factions, they are just now, you start with them unlocked. You don't have to waste any time doing the like 2 quests to get the contact quest and then do the contact quest. You just start with it there. You're ready to do faction stuff. They have already made the faction grind easier, and they're gonna make it even. They're gonna make the grind not as grindy. They're gonna dip into it again and make it a little better next season. But they don't want it to be like super easy. But they want it to be smoother, but also not feel as bad if you just didn't do it with every faction. Because I haven't. I've only hit VIP on like 3 out of the 6 factions at this point, and I'm telling you, I do not feel like I did it first. And looking back on it now, knowing what I know, having put this much time into the game, not grinding the factions is not going to fucking hurt me any goddamn season. It don't matter. It matters more maybe a little early on, but inevitably it doesn't matter. Like my first golds I got, I took off people with free kits. I literally came in with a free sponsored kit with green gear at best, and I won the fight against the guy with the gold and purple, and I took him for everything he was worth. So yeah, he grinded out the faction rep and was able to get like 2 areas before me, but it didn't matter in the fight when I outplayed him. It just didn't matter. get fucked. I take your shit now. I still have that dude's stuff. Um, they've done a really good job of like making the world more dangerous for everyone, even the most experienced players too. We already have like new locations and maps and new threats. There's now rocket drones can come down and they will just bombard missiles all over like the region. There's towers that just yell intruder runner detected. So like it kind of gives away that you're there, but not where you're at. So there's already new stuff to like worry about how it shakes up the pace of the game. Um, there is in season 2, we're not only are we getting nighttime dire marsh, and I think another map we're getting more new enemies, more threats. The USC is getting more dangerous and tired of our bullshit. More alien weird threats. More quality of life is going to happen right at the gate. The grind for XP on factions is going to be smoother going forward. There's a cradle system coming, which is a new way to like further tune your build for whatever shell you're running on top of all the stuff you can already do, which with unique cores for classes and attachments for guns and stuff. Like I think I've talked to you about how like as assassin you can get a core that like extends your invisibility ability that you can use, but that extends all invisibility. Which means if you run an implant on your leg implant where, oh, after sprinting for a bit, if you slide, you go invisible, Assassin's Core makes that invisibility last longer. Oh, do you have the one where if you reload off a mag, when it's empty, you go invisible? Assassin's Core makes that longer, right? So it's affecting everything. So you can commit to a full stealth build. You can commit to a full loud build. There are, like, the higher end gear chasing it, but even the blues and purples, which it got to the point now where I'm selling anything that's not a purple immediately, and half the time I'm selling purples if I don't like the gun. Like I am not hurting for gear, and I have not run the end game cryo map a lot at all. I still have really not run Outpost a lot at all. I've mostly done Dire Marsh and Perimeter. For the amount of hours I've put in this game, other people that have put the hours I've put in are like level 170 and have VIP'd all the way to the max every faction and run cryo every night, and I'm still holding my own into those people. So the gear fear is non-existent in this game. It doesn't fucking matter. Your skill and like tenacity in fights will matter more than gear. 100%. And when the new season starts, they've already announced that they're gonna like with duo queue experiment being done in season 1, and now we're getting a rotating permanent duo queue throughout every season. They've announced that at the start of season 2, there's an experimental queue coming for season 2 and one later mid season 2. The experimental queue starting in season 2 is a PvE PvP light mode. So more PvE oriented, less PvP. And my brain goes, that sounds like Gambit, Bungie.
That's what a friend was saying too. Like, hey, this sounds similar to what
Guess what?
Gambit.
Hey, guess what? Gambit's really good though. Everyone likes Gambit. Gambit never really got to shine the way it needed to. I'm gonna tell you right now, this game would work so much better for Gambit. And if it's just Gambit, like if it's just Gambit, everybody that's gonna miss Destiny 2 that liked Gambit is about to just be playing a lot of Marathon. If it's just Gambit, I'm gonna be ecstatic if it's fucking Gambit. I fucking loved Gambit. When Gambit came out, all I did was play Gambit. I didn't do anything else. I fucking loved Gambit. I thought it was like genuinely an incredibly fun mode. Then, mid-season, they're doing an experimental temporary mode that is only PvE. So they have already like started committing to, okay, the main thing is the extraction game, this PvE PvP. But we know there's room for more. But we're not going to just shoehorn it in. We're going to do experimental temporarily. This mode is around for like a couple weeks, and we want feedback. We want to know what you think. We want to know how new players think, veteran players think. What is people like because there's room for more here. The game is very small, all things considered, but the nature of it being an extraction game live service means that like it's easier to maintain content pipeline, and it doesn't need as much constant updates and content as like a Destiny live service does. It'll be really interesting to see how a PvE PvP light works or a PvE only works. Like, how is the gear gonna work there? Am I bringing, what kind of gear can I earn in there? Is gonna be interesting to learn, and what kind of gear I can bring, because there's also, they've already had gear restrictions in like to get into cryo, you have to bring a certain level of loadout. And then ranked on any map, whether it's low stakes or high stakes, has a certain threshold that has to be met. So they've already started, like, tinkering with stuff like that. Oh, yep, I see ya. Nope, all good. Audience has used too many pauses. Alright, so yeah, like, just this game, when I'm playing it, feels I feel like the way class systems work in this game and how compositions, there's no limit. You could all be recon, whether it's duo, queue, or trio. You can all be different. You can double up on one and do one on the other. And the balancing act of, like, God, fights can play out so different, not just based on gear and shields, but aggressively based on what class is where and what class is holding what guns or gear, right? Like, there are certain classes that I'm like, oh yeah, you've got purple shields and I came in with green. I'm not nearly as scared of you, even with a really good gun and better range than me, than, say, this class with that, right? Like, it
Mhm.
really does feel like what, like, not just meta, not just balance of the game economy, but player tactics and composition of, like, what is their defensive gear, what is their offensive gear, and what class are they, and then also same question for the rest of their team, right? Like, whether you got the drop on them or they got the drop on you or a third party, like, there feels like there's so many moving parts to decide a fight that I really like, and it reminds me of where I, like, when Black Ops 3 came out and the operators were classes with uniqueness to them, and I
Mhm.
wanted that to be followed up further and further. I wanted that to be the future of COD. This feels like where we could have gotten if COD had kept that direction in terms of how much there is to think about in a fight, of, like, and it really doesn't, it's not like you're sitting there thinking about it, not fighting. It's often more so, regardless of the fight outcome, win or loss, you're kind of just thinking back on the fight and thinking about, like, okay, whether you win or lose this fight, whatever happens, it's almost that doesn't matter. Regardless of the outcome of the fight for you, whether it's solos, duos, or trios, you can't help but think about, okay, they had, like, a recon up here with the sniper, but only green shields. But if you ping recon, recon knows they've been pinged. So they can provide information to their team that, hey, someone sees me, even if they don't see the rest of the team, right? Like, also, if
Yeah.
recon finishes you, it pings all of your team while they kill you. Like, there's all these passive traits to think about. All the gear, the mods on the gear. What kind of mods are they using on the gun? This feels like where Call of Duty could have gone if Call of Duty doubled down on that operators of classes and have unique traits. This feels like where that could go, and it feels like this game has taken that concept infinitely further than COD ever did, and they've done it, like, it it almost seems effortless with how seamless all the pieces work together. And I know it's not effortless, but you know what I mean? Like, the puzzle is too clean right now, almost. Like, it's staggering how much there is to think about, and not just what class are they? What guns does this class have? What is the other classes in their team? What guns do they have? What shields do they have? Has anyone chucked a grenade? Where are they at? What is the map environment like now? How many bots? What's the weather situation going on? Has it been foggy for a long time? That fog could turn to sunlight any moment, and we might lose the advantage. We might need to push now and be a little more reckless. Like, there is so much to fights in this that, win or lose, you are just immediately starting to think about things in that fight that could have gone better or worse. Like, there is, the equation of marathon is fascinating as an FPS. Like, it feels like I'm getting a level of competitiveness without ever touching ranked in this that I would only get if I touched rank and the ranked environment was good and healthy, if that made sense, and balanced. Like, I cannot describe any other FPS that's hit like this, where I'm like, yeah, this is brutal, and can be, and the game feels overwhelming and feels like, okay, if you don't know life this, you're gonna get fucked. I disagree with that. I don't feel like I've no life this. I feel like, let me put it this way, because of, like, breakup, and, like, that was my squad, was the breakup person and their brother, so I had no one to
Mhm.
play with for a third of this entire season. There was 2 weeks where I didn't play at all. At all. and yet I've still hit nearly 200 hours because I got comfortable with solos, and I now have a variety of people to play with. This game seems like it's scary, overwhelming, and daunting, and that if you don't know Life This, you're never really going to be able to play this game at any reasonable level. It definitely gives that impression at the start. That impression is the biggest lie of this game, and the only real lie, in my opinion. It is laughably not that. You do not need to no life this game. That person no lifing it and running the endgame map every fucking day it's up, and like doing all this crazy shit and maxing out every faction before you and blah 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 blah. It does not matter. Does not matter. It does not guarantee that person an advantage over you that matters. At all. Like, fucking at all, dude. Like, this is an extraction game that is immaculately fucking balanced. And the grind doesn't feel that bad. Because, like I said, like, I haven't even done all the priority faction quests. I still have the first Sekaguchi quest you get with the first time you unlock the third map. I've never done it. I'm never going to do it this season. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I didn't super grind these factions. It wouldn't matter if I never hit VIP on any faction. And I've hit them on 3, and I didn't think I'd get 1. It doesn't matter that I don't really know how to do the endgame map, and I still struggle with the third map outpost a lot, and there are people that are way better at both of those than me and have run them like a million times already. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that people know Life This and I don't. That does not give them an advantage over me at any fucking point. It gives them more options to do more runs kitted out than me. But that doesn't actually matter, because almost every gold gear I've gotten, I've taken off of someone that I just outplayed. 3 of my gold guns I took from a team that had all gold guns with me and like my people, and we just killed them. We just outplayed them, and it's like, yeah, you even have the high like positioning, fight tempo, understanding like when to be defensive and offensive, understanding the pros and cons of guns and how they can be modded, and experimenting with it on your end. Like, go on runs where you just take out a gun and do this setup and like really pay attention to the stats of your class and your guns, what you can bring, and like experimentation with your build will teach you more than like grinding this game to death. And it does a really good job too of like, the longer the more I've played, obviously the more gear I have, but that's not because I'm no lifing it. It's because the game's pretty generous with the gear, and as more and more people are end game oriented, you do not feel like you're suffering because you're not. It doesn't really hurt until I start to step into endgame myself, but even then, I'm probably, with the experience I have, experience matters in this game, but like, that's not no lifing it to me, you know what I mean? Like, learning from your plays matters more than putting in a bunch of time and not learning. So someone who just runs all day every day, but if they're like, the reason I'm beating people that have put 700 more hours in than me and have way better gear than me most of the time I'm beating them, is because I'm like learning as I play the game from all the nuance in it and experimentation of it, and they're just no lifing it as if the grind is the only way to power. The grind is the least important part of the power in the game. Knowledge is power. Like, learn the map, learn the layout of a room, learn your class, learn how much variety one class can have, start to try other stuff, experiment with competitions. Don't it's very, feels like almost like a fighting game in that, like, yeah, you've got better stuff than me and you've played a lot more, but if you disrespect me and I know you're disrespecting me here, I take this. Right? Like, it feels very fair, even if it's still brutal as fuck. And yes, sometimes you do definitely still just get fucked because fuck, it's like, oh, they have purple shields and gold shields and snipers. It's only because they caught you unawares that they win that instantly. Because I've been on the other end of that, whereas the team with the weaker gear, we saw them first, and we played it nice and slow, or correspondingly, we just blitzed them and dropped them, and they had no choice. They were done. Like, grinding this game endlessly and being like, oh, I've just accumulated a lot more gear than people does not save you from shit. All it really does is mean you have more opportunities to lose before you feel like you've lost too much than someone else. I will say also that, like, as the game has gone on in the season, right? Like, I would say, like, first, like, third of the season, it definitely feels that, like, okay, if you're getting some losses on Perimeter or Dire Marsh, hitting Outpost or Cryo and getting one good run, like a basic bitch you only killed one person maybe run in those maps, pays off really well, even though it was a lackluster run. So you feel like you got a lot back. At this point, I would say, like, mid to late season, any run that you live on pays out a fuck ton mid to late season because everybody's got shit. And they've also increased the drop rates of, like, events in the world and stuff, so there's more things to interact with. Like, I don't think I've ever, like, had a game aggressively break me of my fears of its systems quicker than this game and make me not care about those fears because they're relevant. Run it again. Like, the game empowers you to learn over, like, mass time. You know what I mean? Like, someone just spamming endlessly all day, someone that plays 20 hours every day, is not guaranteed to beat me because they play 20 hours every day. And I don't. That doesn't guarantee them shit. That guarantees them gear, maybe. But it just means they have more to lose. And I've taken that shit from them many times. Like, I like, the stress, the fear, the anxiety of anything being reset doesn't bother me. I'm really excited for the reset, actually, because I'm really excited to be able to start this season with all the knowledge and experience I've accumulated, because I feel like, especially in the later half of this fucking game's first season, like, I'm weaponizing my knowledge and learning from my losses and wins more and more than a lot, I feel like, your average player, because that's just how I've approached the game. That's how I feel like it wants me to approach it. In that people that, yes, that play a lot more than me are not getting the upper hand. That doesn't give them that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they did all the faction quests before me. It doesn't matter that I've never done some of them. It definitely feels like this game rewards taking the time to understand it and appreciate the depths and nuances of all the moving parts, and encourages experimentation and learning just tempo of a fight, when to play on the defensive, when to play offensive, when to move fast, when to move slow, when to just fuck it, this is a bad position, we can't, this is untenable, retreat, just full retreat. If they chase, we have advantage. If they don't chase, we can regroup and go elsewhere. There's just a lot to learn, and it definitely can feel overwhelming, and I know that resets are not a thing everyone enjoys, but, like, having played Arc Raiders a lot, and resets being optional there, that's way worse. And also, PvP in Arc Raiders is trash mode extraordinaire and has no point to it other than to just kill the person. Killing people has a point here, but also in Marathon, not taking a fight is also one of the most important skills to learn. It's really, really just been a very rewarding FPS to put my time into. I genuinely do not feel like an FPS has respected my time and effort in it as much as this has in years. I can't remember the last time I, like, wanted to play an FPS this much. I can't wait for season 2. I'm gonna be playing it all the time. I love this fucking game. It's so good. Marathon, marathon, marathon. Escape will make me God. And in the words of one of my mains, fear is a false god. There's no time for that. And with that, let's move on to the news.
To the news.
It's the news. It's the news. So we know there's a lot of shit coming next month.
Mm-hmm.
I know prices went up for Switch 2 and PS5. I know that Star Fox exists again. I know that Xbox is not dead, apparently. And I know that there's been a lot of Capcom leaks. I haven't caught a whole lot more than that, simply because I've been, like, dealing with a lot of anxiety, and also when I was not feeling anxious, I was really enjoying Diablo being in my hands again, and I'm in love with Marathon as an FPS. Like, let me put it this way, like, every other FPS is off my console. I only play Marathon. I don't want to play a different FPS. I want to play Marathon. Yeah, so if you have some news you'd like to talk about that feels like we must talk about it, now is the time. Otherwise, we will go to our roadmap because we are nearly at 3 hours already, which I'm surprised. I didn't think we would both run an hour and a half on our month.
Uh, I mean, I did just we did have that survival horror talk, and then just a lot
Yeah,
of
but like still though, like we've had that survival horror talk a lot of times, but like I really only talked about 2 games.
mhm.
Like, but like we both had a lot to say about what we did play this month,
Yes, that we
which is
did.
always nice when it's like, hey, whether I loved it or hated it or somewhere in the middle, I have a lot to say on it, which I feel like are the most interesting conversations. They're the worst ones when it's like you put a lot of time into it. Oh yeah, you beat it, and it's like, all right, I can talk about it for like
And
20
that's it.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the worst. That's the worst experience. I'd rather play something and have a lot of negative things to say than have fucking nothing to say. That's worse
yeah.
to me. That's worse to me because I'm like, it was so mediocre that I don't even have criticisms. Is oh my god. It's like being like cis and white, I guess. It sounds like it's boring. I don't know what to tell you. Cis white people, I'm not sorry. It sounds like it's boring. It sounds boring. Like, if you're cis and not white, those people, the like straight not white people, infinitely more interesting than the straight white people. What's up with that? What's up with that?
It's white people.
It's white people. One might even say that colonizers are bad. One might. I'll say it.
One mic.
Fuck it. Colonizers is bad. Fuck those colonizers. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You want to talk about the news? You got any news for me?
So news wise, so Harada, earlier this year,
Oh, that's
decided to leave
right. That's
Tekken.
right. Oh my god, I read about that. I forgot about it. That's right.
Yeah.
Harada's like SNK, right? Like,
Well, he has his own company now. He is now with he now is started up his own company. And some people are thinking because he just mentioned this earlier, but some people are
mm,
thinking that during Summer's Games Fest we might hear what Harada's new company might be producing something. That's like the guess, because like why announce his company being like up and running, like oh yeah, I have a new company now, um and it's this close to like Summer's Game Fest, you know? So like there's people thinking like, oh, he's cooking up something for Summer's Game Fest, and we'll find out what his new project
mm,
is.
mm. Dude, yeah, we're gonna talk about Summer Games Fest and stuff in the roadmap, but
Oh yeah, and
I
yeah,
believe there is. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's
we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get
I'm
there.
so worried about next month for reasons. We'll get there. But yeah,
Now something that I just
Harada lives again. He's back.
he's back. He's doing his own thing now. Let's go.
You know what? I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. That Tekken shit, the like the fallout there, the
Yeah,
last like times I was hearing about Harada and like the current Tekken and the environment there, I would be like, yeah, that sounds bad, bro.
it's bad.
Like I don't care about Tekken, never did, but it don't sound good over there.
Kind of like how it was for Kojima and Konami, but that was a lot worse, though. I will say. um, yeah.
Metal Gear.
But speaking of Tekken, they announced the last character for the season pass, and it's a Baki character from the anime.
Is it?
It's the Baki's dad that's
Oh, okay.
getting announced as the guest character. I mean, people who love Baki, I know a lot of them like probably do like Tekken, so that's like a win for them. But
I mean, at least it
the only
sounds
thing is
like
that
a pedophile, right? Or a
they
sexual
didn't show
predator.
the character model. They just showed like the anime
Oh,
uh yeah.
interesting.
So who knows how he's gonna look in Tekken
Oh,
8,
okay.
but
Weird. All
yeah.
right.
So that's a little bit worry. But like, all right, okay. But they're just like, oh, we're gonna reveal that. Like, oh, okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
I guess. Do you want to talk about the Destiny news?
We can talk about the Destiny news because I think that's an important thing to talk about because I mean,
Yeah,
like you said,
I
Destiny
feel like
has
that
been
might be
a
a bit. Hold on, I feel like that might be a big
yeah,
conversation. So if you have other
okay,
news, let's do that first, and we'll end with
yeah,
news of
um,
Destiny, and then hit the roadmap and wrap up.
okay, uh, at least let me ask, what Capcom rumors did you hear about, like, or what, like,
okay, so I've heard everything from Resident Evil 10 is a Claire Red game, is like Claire
Okay.
Redfield. And I'm gonna be honest, I know you're not enjoying current Resident Evil. Do you have any
No, but I mean,
idea
I'm glad
how
that Claire
bad?
is getting
Do you
spotlight
have
though. Like
any
she needs
idea?
it.
You're glad? You're glad, sir? I'm trans and gay about women. Do you have any idea how much I will enjoy a Claire Redfield where Claire Redfield is like fucking 40 to 50 years old kicking ass? Hot old lady? Hot old lady? Hello? Mother? Like, are you kidding me? The gays? The lesbians? Will be feasting. We'll be feasting. If we got cool old Leon, if I get cool old Claire just busting out like a Hellboy ass revolver and blowing a dude's head off with the fucking gun, oh my god, Vaughn, come on.
Oh, it'd be so funny if she works with Moira again, and then since Moira has now dealt with her fear of guns, uh, like Moira is like the co-op companion again. But she gets her dad's.
I don't think I even care what the game is. If it's just like I'm middle-aged Claire Redfield just being a fucking baddie, I'm down. I'm down. Instant buy.
The thing is
Instant
that
buy. I'm gonna
the,
be
the thing is
honest.
that Moira is Barry Burton's daughter. So that means she could potentially inherit Barry Burton's gun, which is like that sick ass revolver that you get in Resident Evil 1.
I just need like age 47 Claire Redfield to like shrug the cool jacket off that she still has from RE2 and she's just like buff now. And then I need her to like fist fight zombies. I don't care what the plot is. I don't give a fuck. I just want to watch Claire Redfield in her mid 40s be cool. I don't give a
Just beat
fuck
the
what the
shit
I don't
out
give
of.
a fuck what the plot is if I'm playing as hot, cool, badass Claire Redfield in her like ripe old age there. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck how stupid the plot is at that point. You can put 7 Xenoses in the game for all I care at that point.
Oh my god.
She'll fight them all and win. I don't give a fuck. Like, come on. If Jill Valentine comes back and she's like 50, but like just like roundhouse kicking Xenos, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what this game's plot is. I'm not here for the plot. I'm here for the plot. I like it when women in their middle age get violent against men. I'm gonna just type that out if you want to talk more about. I've heard Devil May Cry 1 remake, remaster. I like it
Okay,
when
that'd be interesting.
middle-aged women get violent against men. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that Capcom has been deeply considering bringing back a couple old franchises. I've heard that Sony has expressed interest in Infamous remasters that would not be handled by Sucker Punch because Sucker Punch just ended Ghost of Yotei development. They just released the last like update. And they're a one-game studio, so they have also expressed interest in returning to Infamous, but continuing the story further.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm getting Infamous like 1 and 2 and Second Son remasters for PS5, fucking dude, I love Infamous 2 so much. It's so goddamn good. I would absolutely be down with that. I've also heard that FromSoft is dropping a new thing that is some kind of pirate thing.
You heard me, Hardy's your go.
Yeah. Pirate Souls, maybe. Perhaps.
Yo, we can get Pirates of the Caribbean from Dark Souls. I'd be down. I'd be down.
I'm pretty down with that.
um
Yeah. So that's just kind of the rumors I've heard.
okay.
Yeah. So if you have
Uh,
other shit, we'll do that,
the
and
only
then get
other
to
bit of news
Destiny
that you
because we're
mentioned,
at
yeah,
3 hours now.
Starclaw. This
Yeah.
this weekend was technically like I guess a
The
Warhammer
Nintendo.
weekend.
Oh yeah, the Warhammer thing. I saw that. I saw all the stuff
Yeah.
announced. I think I would
So
be more interested in the like the rat assassin game if it wasn't a side scroller 2D thing. And
I
like
honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, "Is this a card game?"
I
like
like
this.
I like Dark Tide, but like I'm not, and then new class cool. Yeah, I'm not like in love with Dark Tide enough that like I'm gonna be foaming at the mouth for that. So nothing really
Mhm.
spoke to me out of that.
Yeah.
Now if you were like Vermintide 3,
Vermintide 3, that might be interesting.
Yeah, I'd be excited for a Vermintide 3. I would love a
Um,
Vermintide 3.
I think the only thing I saw from that announcement, at least particular, is that Helldivers is getting a legendary war bond
Right.
with,
Yeah. I
but
remember seeing that.
they're I explain. The legendary war bonds have been pretty bad when it comes to just like balance and power and everything like that. So
Mm.
I cannot say that this one's gonna be any good, but we'll I guess we'll see. Um, I guess that's really it for news that I could think of. There's
Yeah, it's
other
just
than
been
like,
kind
well,
of
there's
most of
just
the news was an announcement of the million different events going on next month.
yeah, it's like an
Because you,
announcement of the
the,
announcement.
well,
It's
yeah,
yeah,
because usually State of Play is this month, but State of Play is next month. Xbox thing is next month. There's Day of the Devs. There's the Latin games. There's the women-led games. There's all these other shit, and then everything was just announcing the date that the event will take place next month.
yeah,
All right, so with that, Destiny talk real quick. Destiny has announced that it is ending development. June 9th will be the Monument of Triumph, the last update. The expansion, the big update, Shadow and Order, which was delayed, the free update is not coming out. The two expansions that were slated to come out, one this year, one next year, one being the Shattered Cycle and the Alchemist, are done, like not happening. That content's not happening.
yeah,
There's been a lot of stuff coming out of Destiny. There's been a lot of reports on it. I still feel like some people are with their style of writing and reporting things is so clickbaity it drives me nuts. It's like, no, just
yeah.
word it how it is. Like you're making it sound like this hasn't like they're saying that there's going to be significant layoffs because there's no Destiny 3. First of all, there was never any concrete evidence there was a Destiny 3. And second of all, even if there was, it wouldn't be for years. And two, the studio had layoffs before Sony like started to buy them, and they've had more sense because they've like Destiny has been hemorrhaging players since the final shape. It hasn't been in a good place the entire time. It's had brief glimpses of that and never maintained it. They're acting like the people acting like Marathon killed Destiny are fucking idiotic dumbasses. Destiny has been dying before Marathon even came out in the first alpha and then
Oh
got
yeah,
almost canceled. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like
yeah. No, Destiny has just
Destiny
been
also should
like
have ended at the fucking final shape, straight up. And then
it
like
really
the
should
people
have just
like
ended
the
there.
reason also the reason the majority of people are mad at Destiny ending live service is because there's no Destiny 3. That's what they're mad about. You can tell that because there's a petition to like show how much people want Destiny 3. That's what most people are mad about, is that not that you're ending this game, which you knew had to end at some point, is that there is no plans for a Destiny 3 right now. And it's also like they talk about why wasn't Destiny 3 ever even like really in development during any of these points of Destiny 2? Because it takes a lot of resources, time, and money to make these kind of games and sustain them, and you need a massively high player base to make it financially viable. And the live service, not just on Bungie's end, live service as a concept, that bubble has burst. There will always still be live services, but the era of everything being that and getting away with it, even when they shouldn't, is over. We've entered the phase of everything being canceled because live service isn't sustainable for every game and can't be, and we can't all be live service. Everything about the current industry said that Destiny 2 was dying, that there would be no Destiny 3 announced after. Like, you got like 9 years with the fucking game. Calm down. Like, I loved the game. Played it all. I've bought in every expansion, every single one, even the two most recent. The game should have ended at final shape. It should have fucking ended at final shape. There's been reports about like most of Bungie's remaining staff has been majority Marathon since Marathon launched. That is fact. So Sony has also outright stated Marathon is the future of the studio currently. It's also the only good publicity they've had in like fucking 4 years, guys. Like, be mad that Marathon is the one that's living all you want, but even with Marathon's really bad publicity start, Marathon is the only like actual success they've had in live service since Final Shape. That was 2 fucking expansions ago. 3 technically for Destiny, right? Like, since then Destiny has been hemorrhaging players. Should have ended there. It should have ended there. That was the moment. Ended. Destiny 3 could still happen. The IP is still there. There have been pitches for single player, like not full on sequel stuff. Nothing has been greenlit. And it comes down to Sony owns Bungie, and they are hesitant to just greenlight and fund a Destiny 3 based off current market challenges and the fact that almost every live service game has fucking died, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
even in the
like,
reports of
n-
Sony, like
like,
they were saying, like Bungie was at like $1 million, like almost $1 billion deficit.
yes,
Like they were
Destiny.
still trying to, they're trying to
Now it's
get
not the
money
time.
back from like all the
Yes,
Bungie
yes.
investment.
Like, also, it's a lot easier to sustain a good extraction game live service than what Bungie's Destiny is. Destiny is like a giant hybrid MMO. That needs a huge player base and way bigger, quicker content updates. Your extraction game doesn't need even half that player base, not even a third of it, not even a quarter of it. And because it's an extraction game and it has seasonal resets that people feel good about who like this type of game, you don't need to have as much content made per season. You get away with a lot less in an extraction game, and you don't need as much of a player base constantly on it, which means it's easier to be more transparent and more communicative and easier to build a good rapport with your community that's playing your game in a game the size and nature of Marathon versus the size and nature and scale of Destiny is a lot harder to just break even on, let alone stay in good graces majority wise.
Yeah.
It's the safer bet. And also, of the two, Marathon's the only one with any success right now. Bungie has not had any success with Destiny since Final Shape, and even Final Shape fell short of where they wanted it to land.
Yeah.
Marathon, despite its really rough start, has actually climbed up to be positive. There was a couple people, there was like a large group of Destiny people that started review bombing Marathon when this was announced, and in response, the majority of Marathon's community anti-review bombed that with like, so all the review bombs were like really angry, kind of poorly written, and mentioned Destiny like every sentence, so it's clear what's going on. Um, and in response, a lot of reviews started to pop up that were way more well written and like critiqued but also praised Marathon and the changes that have happened already in this season and the transparency about things.
Hmm.
So now, because of people trying to review bomb Marathon, who only had like an hour to maybe 50 hours in the game max, if that, there's been a surgence of positive reviews. So now Marathon is higher reviewed across the board than it was before these people tried to review bomb it. So all they did was make it seem like Marathon is, oh, it's doing quite well. And I've seen an influx of new players. We've noted a lot of new players. That we're get Bungie people. The reasonable part of Bungie, like the fan base of Destiny, there is like the middle of the road people, and then there's the like Bungie fanatics that are like not assholes about it, and then the Bungie fanatics that are assholes about it. The Bungie fanatics and middle of the road people that are like decent human beings are a good chunk of them is going to gravitate to Marathon. I'm telling you that right now. It's where they're going to go. 100%. You can already see it happening. There's way too many new players at the end of a season. There's way too many new players at the end of a season. And the fact that they're going to start experimenting with PvE, PvE Light, or PvE only content, and I guarantee you one of those is going to be staying. And if it's Gambit, dude, if it's just fucking Gambit, you just locked in like a third of the Destiny player base. Like, come on, it's fucking Gambit. People love Gambit, dude. And this doesn't mean that, like, Destiny's dead. This means that, like, Destiny as an IP is not dead, but now is not the time to force two live services out and split the one success you've already had into like, you need to buff up what's right. And they've already said some of the remaining Destiny staff is going to move over to Marathon still, not all of them, but we saw that like Jason Schreier and people were like a significant layoff. It's like, okay, first of all, I wouldn't argue that a significant portion of Bungie's remaining staff are even on Destiny. In fact, factually, we know that from Jason Schreier and Paul Tassi of Forbes, of that like most of Bungie's staff has been Marathon since Marathon launched. So a significant portion of layoffs is less than a fourth of the company left, right? Like, yes, it sucks. Not all of them are gonna get to move over, but Marathon doesn't need as big as a team to maintain. It clearly has already proven that. And a chunk of those people are going to get kept. And yes, it sucks that people are losing jobs and shit, but that's the nature of the industry. But if they forced Destiny to keep living, Destiny 2 to keep going, when it's like, even when they've released 2 new expansions, like, it's not retaining players. Like, so clearly the people who say they love Destiny so much they'll play whatever's there are lying. Because you're not. You're fucking not. The player base is the lowest it's been ever, even with new expansions. And people argue, well, they slowed down the update rate. Yeah, because the game was already losing players well before this. Like, you're just not backing up your words when you're saying that you love it this much. Because you clearly don't, because it hit a point where it was just losing players every expansion. It was unsustainable. The reason Destiny 2 got to have the success it had is because Destiny 1 didn't go on for 9 goddamn years. Like, Destiny 1 ended way sooner, right? Destiny 2 should have ended at Final Shape. Maybe even before that. And I think we can see a Destiny 3 happening. I think that's down the road. I think that's late next gen. If it happens, it'll happen. I don't think this is the end of that IP. I think overall across the years Sony is too business savvy and understands this IP has value. But right now I think shutting this down, stop putting out content that's not going to retain the player base that stayed or get more, and stretching your resources as a studio even thinner to maintain a thing you can't maintain when you know you can't fucking maintain it. There's a time to accept it's over and let it die.
Yeah, no,
Also,
like
I'm gonna
I
be
was
honest.
looking at
Like,
the
Destiny 2 ending now is just gonna, like, yeah, they're just gonna want Destiny 3 more and more as the years go on. So when it's the time to do it again, when the economy is better for it, when things are different, when you're able to like safely get it developed good, that's when you do it. You don't do it now in desperation. You definitely don't start a sequel to a live service sequel in desperation with minimal budget and resources. No, you wait and you do it right. Or you come back with like standalone single player things which were already pitched but not greenlit because Sony just wants Bungie to like, okay, fucking one game. One game, guys, right now. Let's just get Marathon going. Let's keep it going strong. It's had an actually really good start, all things considered, and it's growing. Let's just keep that going, and let's build it back up before we start doing more shit. You know, like, and I think that's a good idea.
yeah, no, like I do think that what's it called? Um like Destiny was already like just like it hit its high peaks during expansions, but even recent expansions that weren't going that strong either. So like it was pretty much just kind of
I
like
mean, recent
on its
expansions being like the 2 newest ones were the worst performing, but before that, the Final Shape and Lightfall both retained poorly compared to the expansions before them. Long before Marathon was even fucking announced, you have seen Destiny's dying. Destiny 2 is ending. And it should have ended at Final Shape. That
like
was.
like
When did
they
Final Shape
get
came
people
out?
to
November?
come back for the expansion, but the retention rate for it, yeah, dropped significantly like within like a week or so. Like it would like they were able to get like close to I'm looking from here like during Lightfall. They had like over 300,000 players on Steam come in. But
And
then
it was less for the next one, which is Final Shape, I think.
Final Shape, because it
Final
has
Shape.
Into the Light, which I don't know what it is. I don't know what
Oh,
Into the Light is. That's not
oh,
Final
Into the
Shape.
Light is not an expansion. That was just like a big
Yeah,
update.
yeah. So the next one apparently it says Episode One Echoes, which is weird.
Oh,
I thought
okay,
that.
yeah. So Final Shape is before that because that's after Final Shape they started switching to the episode stuff because they
Yeah.
already
So
lost people. Like, Final Shape came out June 4th, 2024. It should have ended. It should have ended right there. You did 2 more whole
yeah,
years of updates. 2 more
that was
expansions have come out. Like, it wasn't,
that
no.
was also the biggest point. That was like 300,000 players, and then immediately like the next
And then it
month it dropped to like a
nosedived
third,
lower
and
than it's
then
ever
below
been.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they should have ended it there. And even if they ended it there and people were mad or butthurt, like, it's so funny because, like, I don't recall this vitriol when Destiny 1 ended development. but that's because Destiny was on the high point, and so like we know Destiny 2 is coming, and now we don't know, and people are like, there's a whole petition about showing how much they want Destiny 3, and it's like they know that that's not going to force Sony to do shit unless Sony wants to do it. And ultimately, honestly, I don't think Sony should. Do I want a Destiny 3 someday? Yes, fucking absolutely I do. Because Destiny's cool as shit. But I want it done when it can be done right. I want it be made for. I want you, like, if you're gonna spend 3 to 5 years developing a thing, it better be this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this done rushed out of desperation. I don't want this done out of desperation slowly. I want Destiny 3 to happen when it's the right time to happen. I want it to happen with the least amount of pressure on the team to deliver a masterpiece in every sense of the word. Don't get me wrong, I want it to be good, but this is not the fucking time for it. This was we do this now. Destiny 3 is going to be completely disappointing. It's going to die on launch, and then we're not going to have Bungie at all because they'll just close the fucking studio. And that's way worse. Right now, we're not at that. We need to avoid that. Marathon is a success so far and can build. Build it. And I think they've shown that, like, Bungie says they're committed to it. They have to be. And Sony has said Marathon is... They want it to be Marathon. I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to take this new game that overall has been received pretty fucking well and doing pretty good considering how rocky the start of publicity for this game was and everything. Marathon is simply just doing better in the zeitgeist of pop culture than Destiny has been for like 4 expansions. And that matters more. Especially when Marathon is cheaper in terms of the money we're talking about, value-wise, the insane amounts. Marathon requires less money and less resources to maintain and be good or excellent than Destiny required to be bad. You pick the lesser devil, right? Like, you absolutely, as a business, even if Bungie was self-publishing and self-developing, I think you still make the same choice. Because it's the only one that's fucking viable to survive and win with. It's the only winning hand they have. Doubling down on Destiny 2 is a dead game. Announcing Destiny 3 now is a dead game. Like, you don't have the resources. Destiny 3, if it was announced and started development now, that game's not coming out until the PS9. Like, again, this would be the worst time to start trying to develop that. And that's why the expansions have suffered for it. It's like, you don't have what you need. And you also can't keep milking this forever. Honestly, letting the franchise breathe and not be around for a bit is going to do it more favors than any expansion could right now. Because now, say, like, in 4 years, at, like, middle of... Alright, so say PS6 is late next year, at best, right? Say that's next gen. Say console generations are like 4 to 7 years, give or take. In reality, they're probably going to get longer because costs get higher because of AI, and the disparity between generations is softer. You won't need to switch as much. Say PS6 is next year, late, holidays, Christmas. Okay, boom. Say that middle of or late. So say like 3 to 4 years in of next gen, Destiny 3 comes out. At best. At best. This is your best timeline, in my opinion. At that point, you've been Destiny-less for how many years? It's like 4 or 5? At that point, Destiny 3 just needs to be mediocre and it would still sell $1 bazillion because they've been foaming at the mouth for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, time will mean that Destiny 3 doesn't have to be a fucking immaculate masterpiece at launch. It can't be bad, but it could be, like, mediocre or pretty good for Destiny. It doesn't have to overly impress. Time gives it that grace. Trying to deliver on Destiny 3 sooner means the pressure's on. Time will be, like, in the way that people are they're desperate for it. They want it. If Call of Duty and Battlefield had put more time between iterations, they would have gotten away with less interesting things. You know what I mean? Like, the constant iteration means that the demand is perfect or nothing. Space between iteration means that, It's Destiny. Like, bro, Elder Scrolls and Fallout games are flawed as shit, but they sell hotcakes every time. You know why? Because it's like 7 to 10 years between a fucking game, bro. By the
Yeah.
time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, I'm gonna be like mid-40s, homie. I haven't played a new Elder Scrolls since Skyrim came out. I'm dying. I'm thirsty. My cup is empty. No Elder Scrolls. Shakes mug. Where is it? like iteration. It iteration is better with space because frankly, you can't keep knocking it out of the park every year. That's just not how art works. Marvel and Star Wars Disney learned that lesson the hard way. That's why they put out less stuff now, and that's why the quality of it overall has gotten better. That's the same exact reason Assassin's Creed stopped dropping a new game every year. How many times do we gotta teach you this old lesson, man? Except like the lesson that the old man in the metaphor I fucked up, the SpongeBob thing, is not the company, but it's the consumers in this one. Because they're like, Destiny 3 now, new expansions now. And I'm like, but you aren't happy with all the new expansions for the last 4. All this has led to is, oh, it's the new expansion. No, it's Edge of Fate was the problem. No, actually, it was the Echo stuff. No, actually, it was the Final Shape. Actually, Lightfall is where it really started to go downhill. You just keep going further back. You're just unhappy with constant iteration because you can't make a masterpiece back to back so close. Shit takes time, bro. Like, the
Yeah.
scale of what you're asking for cannot be made that quickly, that well. Either accept smaller scale and less quality for more often, or accept that time is your friend as a consumer. Also, games be fucking expensive now, man. I ain't trying to buy this shit all the time. I want my distance. That's all I gotta say, really. This is not there'll be, and as the words say, Destiny creators are sad and stuff. But I think that like Bife put it probably the best without being overly like critical or fucky about it as he usually does. And the way he kind of just summarized it in the end is the same way I'm gonna summarize it here. Is that it's one of the last lines of dialogue in actually Halo Reach's Lone Wolf, the final mission or chapter or whatever it is, and it's there'll be another time. And I like that because there'll be another time. I don't think Destiny as an IP is dead. I don't see Bungie dying from this. I see Bungie surviving from this. I see them getting downsized a bit more, but not a significant layoff in terms of what's left of their studio. Significant probably to us, the Joe Schmoes at the bottom of the ladder of society. Yeah, sure. But like, no. Most of the studio is already on Marathon, which means the remaining pieces, a chunk is going to Marathon and then a chunk won't have jobs. That is not a significant portion of the studio. It factually just isn't true when they say that. Like, even if it's 1,000 people, and I don't think Bungie has 1,000 people left. You know what I mean? Like the studio is much smaller. We've had significant layoffs. Most of the team is on, most of the studio is and has been on Marathon for 3 months now. Whatever is left is the smallest portion of the studio was left on Destiny. It was on life support already. It's been on life support. Let it go. Let it die. Remember it fondly. And maybe somewhere down the line, we'll meet up again. There'll be another time. But let's not fucking cry wolf about shit that isn't true. Like, holy fuck. I've never, like, disliked a community's temperament more than the Destiny community. In terms of, like, the way they, like, demand everything, but can't seem to accept anything. Greedy little fuckers. Anyway, that's it. It's time for the roadmap. We are at 3 hours and we're at nearly 3.5 hours. This has become one of our longest in a while. I'm a little worried now. June's gonna be crazy. It's fine. It's fine.
June's gonna be fucked.
I pay for 6 hours of upload space for a reason. We've never hit it, but we might.
We never hit it.
We've hit 4.5 is our highest. 4.5. So still plenty of wiggle room.
Yeah.
All right. So now the roadmap. What we figured we'd do for this one is we're gonna do some pre-summer game show predictions, reasonable, and hot takes. So One or two of each. So two reasonable predictions, and then two. Give me your hot take. And it can be a shit like this is gonna be a shitty announcement, but here's my hot take, or it can be a good one, but it's still a hot take.
Okay. Okay.
My reasonable expectations. Devil May Cry 1 remaster or remake, whichever you want to call it. It's funny because I would argue that if you do DMC1 and it plays as good as DMC5 does and looks visually good, that's a remake to me because it's so fucking far from the original thing. But I digress. I guess that could technically just be a really good remaster. I guess. I guess it's just a remaster, but I feel like it's they're so far apart in what they are as games that it feels like a remake to me. That's my reasonable hot take, or what my reasonable prediction is. I genuinely think we're getting some kind of DMC1 remaster. I think I can very much see that happening. And my other reasonable one, I'm very much expecting to see the announcement of whatever Wilds' Iceborne is going to be. Those are my two reasonables. DMC 1 remaster / remake, and Monster Hunter Wilds Master Rank expansion trailer. What are your reasonable takes?
Reasonable take. Well, you took one of them already, which was the Monster Hunter one. But
well, I mean, you can use. I'll tell you what. We could double up on the reasonable.
No.
We're not gonna overlap on the hot takes. There's no way overlapping on the hot takes.
No. I'll do a different reasonable. I'll do a different reasonable.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. So for reasonable stuff that we're gonna see here is, I'm trying to do something that's at least, it's reasonable. I feel like we're going to see. Maybe it's not as reasonable as I thought. I was gonna say I think we're gonna see maybe gameplay of Naughty Dog's new game. I feel like we're at that point where they're going
gameplay finally, but still no release date, but just
yeah, exactly, just very,
I think that's very reasonable. Basic. I think that's reasonable. I think the hot take would be gameplay and a release date. I think gameplay is reasonable. Absolutely. I think that's the most you could ever expect out of that right now. Okay.
Okay, and then I think for maybe another reasonable one. Let's see, what do we have? Who do we think? But does Bethesda stuff is included in Microsoft's at this point, right?
Most likely. Why? Where are you going with this?
With Bethesda,
Todd Howard is going.
We're not saying no. This is not like Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever. No. That would be hot take.
My reasonable take is that Todd Howard will show up at one of these events.
My reasonable take is that he'll appear there. My hot take is that he will be an actual sensible person about this.
Ooh, I like it. It's a little column B. Okay, yeah.
What's Bethesda? But no, I think for Bethesda, I feel like I want to say we'll see something in regards to one of their studios. I feel like they have.
Are you talking Bethesda or so you're talking a Fallout Elder Scrolls? Because one of those is an insane hot take, the other is potentially reasonable, mildly.
I want to see.
Talking about id Software or something that's under them.
I want to say something under the umbrella of Bethesda because I feel like if it's not Bethesda with talking news about Fallout, especially because there was a lot of rumors circulating about Fallout 3 remaster.
A Fallout 3 remaster would be the only reasonable direct from Bethesda I would buy.
Yeah.
Are you thinking Machine Games?
Machine Games. I feel like they need a because they did the Indiana Jones one, and I feel like it wouldn't be surprising me if now eventually they're all right, we're doing Wolfenstein 3 again.
Yeah, I was about to be are we talking Wolfenstein? Are we back?
Maybe we're back with Wolfenstein. And then if not, then we have Arcane, and because Arcane is still potentially working on the Blade thing, and we have not heard news about it, so I'm not gonna expect them to do more news about Blade. because right now I think Marvel's focus is Marvel Tokon and
Wolverine,
Wolverine, and
which we
I
know is
don't
going to
think they
be at the
want.
state of play. We know
Yeah,
Wolverine's going to be at the state of play.
and I know they don't want to like overlap that too much already.
Well,
Like
because
they
they
already
like
have.
to give each of their things their limelight, which
Yeah.
makes sense.
So I assume maybe the next year we could probably hear something
Maybe,
about Marvel's
maybe.
Blade from Arcane Studios. Um
I
but I wouldn't be
forgot that
surprised if
Arcane
Arcane
was
brought
making
something
it.
up to the table, like not necessarily like Prey 2 or anything, but like, hey, we're doing a new single
Dude,
player
Prey is
game
so
or
good.
something
I'm
like
never
that.
getting a Prey 2. I don't know how you'd follow that up.
We're never getting a Prey 2.
Prey is so good. You know what? Fuck it. Give me Dishonored 3.
We're just going to keep doing the thing of like we're gonna reboot Prey again and then never get a sequel. We're gonna
You know what? You know
get
what? Fuck that. You're just making the coolest anthology ever, actually.
It's not as that's gonna happen. It's just more.
Alright. So those are your reasonables? Those are pretty reasonables.
Yeah,
Alright, do you want to do hot takes? We'll since we're doing two each,
yeah.
1-1, we'll go back and forth?
Sure, that sounds
Okay.
good for me.
Alright. Do you have one ready?
For hot take?
Yeah,
No, go.
hot take.
You go first. You go first. You go
Hot
first.
take. Hot take.
Damn.
Hang on. I'm,
Hot
I'm thinking
take.
how hot I want to
Oh,
go. I want to go.
okay,
I'm
okay,
thinking
okay,
how
okay,
spicy I
okay.
want it to be. Hot take number
Yeah.
one. I'm going to go. This is going to be, if we were doing hot wings, this is not the hottest, but like the second or third hottest.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 6.
Okay.
That is not my hottest, just to be clear.
Not your hottest. Okay.
No. Give me your second hottest take. You know, don't give me the top. Give me under that.
Okay. Second hottest take.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Max's announcement of Final Fantasy VII Part 3. Because that's something that I feel like I know people think like we should be getting but like there's not really been anything like they're really like ever since Rebirth they've been really silent about it. So the fact that like even till now, and Rebirth has only been out for like what 2 years, like we should have heard something. But it's probably like still that strong in development. Like they're probably still keeping shut. So I feel like if we're gonna get anything from them, I think it's now. And if it's not now, who knows when? Like it's that sort of thing. I feel like it's a now or never sort of situation.
Yeah. All right. Hottest of takes.
Okay.
I have two in mind. I'm trying to think of which one I want to do. Ooh, do I want to do that? Is that too hot for the internet?
No, you should do it.
Okay. I'm going to make the claim that we are going to get the hot take, the new God of War, and it will
okay.
It will be a prequel to 2016's God of War, and you will be playing as Faye, Kratos' deceased late wife. That's my hot take. I've heard that rumor circulate twice. That's my hot take. My extra spicy super hot take is Bloodborne anything game-wise announced, but that's always in the basket for me.
Yeah, and that was one of the hot takes I was thinking of saying. It's like Bloodborne.
Well, Bloodborne's like the bonus hot take. It's always there.
Yeah,
that's on my bingo card every year, but it never hits. All right, what's your hottest take that can't be Bloodborne? Because I feel like we both have the Bloodborne hot sauce is there, waiting to be cracked open at any moment. I'm ready when it happens. Give me your hottest take that's not.
This
Bloodborne.
now this is the hottest of takes. Elder Scrolls 6 release date.
Shut the fuck up. You go again. That's like that's like a fake hot take. That's not even real. Like that's a bottle that looks really hot, and then when I open it, it's empty. Like fuck off. You know damn well that's not happening. There's no goddamn way that's getting announced anytime soon. Give me something real. That's like you're smoking crack. You're on cocaine. That's not even a hot take. You just like lied.
You don't know if I lied or not. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we're
It could
not going
happen.
to. They've
It
straight
could
up
have.
said that that game is like 4 or 5 years out at best. There's no way, dude.
Maybe they
They
lied. Bethesda lies.
they
Bethesda's always
announced that,
lying.
dude. They announced that game like before the Fallout 4 remasters, before the Skyrim remasters, and also we know a like before the Oblivion Master was shadow dropped or even new, and we know for sure that a Fallout 3 remaster is happening. There's no fucking world where they talk about Elder Scrolls 6 until like 2028 late at best. Shut the hell up. I would love them to tell me Elder Scrolls 6 comes out next year, Vaughn. I love Elder Scrolls. That's not even a hot take. That's like a fake hot take. That's the AI of hot takes.
Damn. Okay.
That's pure
Okay.
garbage slop. That is fake hot takes. You just like typed hot take into the AI and it was like, here's Loeb in Elder Scrolls 6, Skyrim 2. It's like, shut the fuck up. Do you have a real hot take? That was annoying.
No.
No, you don't
Okay.
have
Okay.
one.
Okay. No. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Damn. The thing is that there was
Fucking movie. Oh my god.
no. I like there's one I'm thinking of, but again, I feel bad for taking another Maxis, so I'm not gonna do that one. I'm actually gonna think of an actual real like hot take, and I think if I'm gonna really go to
Uh-huh. Just the
no
radio
no
silence
they
was
wouldn't do
hilarious.
that no
Go,
no
make it, make
because
it. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. Do it.
okay I know they're remaking Assassin's Creed Black 4, but what if they
They did.
no
They
but
did
like
already.
that
That's
that's
out.
I know. But what I'm thinking is like, because it's that. Wait, the remake's not out yet.
Black Flag? Yes, it is.
Yeah, is
Yes,
it?
it is.
When did it come
Yes.
out? I
Like
don't
just
remember
recently.
that.
Black Flag
I know they
resynced. It's
announced it,
out.
and then
It's dude. People have seen tons of fucking gameplay. It's like out. You could like buy the fucking thing.
no, you can pre-purchase it. It's still
Oh, well,
not
it's
out.
about to be out. That's not a hot take then. We already have seen tons of footage of
No,
this. This isn't a
no.
hot
My
take.
my my hot take was going to be that they announced Assassin's Creed 1 remake.
Oh my god, kill me. I hate this. Alright, well, that was a hot take and it was a
What do
disappointment.
you mean? Remaking 1?
Yeah.
Like
You
the
mean that game
original
that sucked? That game that sucked? That game that fucking sucked? Yeah, that one? The one where you play as the least interesting character in the entire franchise, and also for a guy who's a master assassin, he sure can't really do a lot.
Okay, I mean the thing is, the only reason I'm saying like that could be a hot take is because they have not touched one. Like they really have not like touched one in forever. Like they like
I mean, they haven't
it's
touched it. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like there's a reason to. They haven't touched any of them except for the Black Flag remaster. It's the only one that's gotten, like, a real remaster. The others were just, like, high-res ports and bundled collections. They were not remasters. The Ezio collection is just a collection. It's just, like, some of the old games brought onto the new console. It looks a little better, but they are not remasters. Like, Black Flag Resynced is a remaster, right? Like, they've not done any remasters. They've done like, oh, we're gonna put a bundled collection, so now you can play the Ezio Saga on PS5, and it's like upscaled resolution and looks better, but it is not a remaster at all by any means. They've only done the one, and that's Black Flag. So if we're talking remasters, I mean, I'll give you it's a hot take, but if the hot take is another Assassin's Creed remaster proper, please, it's clearly Assassin's Creed 2 over 1. 2 absolutely matters more than 1. Nobody gives a fuck about 1. You know how much people love Assassin's Creed 2? Oh my god, they won't shut up about it. I don't think 1's ever getting touched again, buddy. I don't think anyone cares.
I don't know. I think they could definitely do one. Like I
I don't
think
think they
one is
should. I don't think they should.
Now that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. And this has been a podcast that went on for 3 hours and 43 fucking minutes. So y'all, we will catch you later. We will see you in June. Gay month, Pride month, my power grows. Jeff Keighley will hold guns to our head and demand that we clap for the award show. I mean, the summer game show. Sorry, Mr. Keighley, please don't kill me. Anyway, that's been the podcast. we'll see you next month for another episode of this train wreck. And if this one went nearly 4 hours, you can bet the next one's gonna go nearly 4 hours. But that's okay, because then we'll have nothing to talk about for like 3 months.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right, that's it. We're out of here. Goodbye. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for typing in views. And all that jazz or whatever the fuck I just said. I don't know. I'm tired. All right, see you later. Bye.
Bye.